And away we go, ladies and gentlemen. A very happy Friday and a happy Veterans Day to you, ladies and gentlemen. To those of you that have served, have put on the uniform, we express our appreciation, our thanks to you for the sacrifices you made, the sacrifices you were willing to make on our behalf. Thank you all for what you did. We appreciate it more than words can possibly express. Welcome in the Rob Brown Show is on your radio. This is the Fan Upstate. Howdy, y'all. How are you? Hope you're doing exceptionally well. My name is Rob Brown, and over on the other side of the metaphorical glass in charge of the broadcast today is a man who I, at my own pain and suffering, am about to make very happy, Lonzo, because something happened yesterday.
Oh, my gosh.
And
there was no indication this was about to happen.
how do I get comfortable without?
Should I describe it, or are you gonna say why? Well, I need to find out why you failed.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you what. So here's what had happened. For those of you not watching on the stream yet,
woo!
Which you could at Facebook.com/thefanupstate, Twitter.com/thefanupstate, or by searching and subscribing.
Wish
to the Rob Brown
this
Show
would have
on
happened
YouTube,
on Tuesday after shower day.
I get to go through the next 3 hours of my life in an office complex as an adult who is a professional, sans shoes and socks, barefooted, in a place of work, in a place of employment where people are supposed to be professional and not have their nasty ass feet hanging around. I now have to be barefoot for the next 3 hours and effectively confined to this chair, except for Lonzo. I am working on a project in the office right now, which is going to require me at least twice to walk back to my network connected computer, which means that at least twice over the next 3 hours, I have to get out of this chair and walk barefoot to the office and back on that disgusting floor.
You know, you could have just brought your laptop in here, right?
I recognize that now. I do now recognize that the laptop could have been unplugged and brought in.
And they are mobile. That's the whole fun part about laptops. They're mobile.
So here's what happened. You know, I am the in-arena host for the Greenville Swamp Rabbits, right? So during hockey games, I am the one who is walking around when they go to breaks and they do little games and whatnot with the crowd. I'm the one that hosts that. They put me up on the video board to hype up the crowd at big spots, et cetera, et cetera. In the second period of action,
dude, this is legitimate. I do smell something over here, so maybe you're choking yourself up.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
I literally showered this morning.
Even through the snot that's presently in my nose, I'm getting a whiff of something over here.
Dramatic. I showered literally.
How dare me be dramatic on the radio? Why would I do that for?
So last night, they did a fan cam, Lonzo, that was presented by Michelob Ultra, right? Michelob Ultra Superior Fan Cam. And basically, the whole premise of this fan cam is that they put the camera on different fans in the stands who have a Michelob Ultra, and they down the beer live on the Jumbotron at the game. Just a fun way to get everybody involved, give them their chance to shine up on the board. Michelob Ultra get some time in the sun with their cans being flashed over and over. It's fun for everybody. Well, sitting over to the right of the Zamboni tunnel where I hang out during the game between when I'm going up on the screen, over to the right, there was a group of about 20 guys and gals who had put together just a fun little group outing on a Thursday to go out together. And they were having the damn time of their lives. They were great. They were giving a standing ovation to the Zamboni driver, right? They were hooting and hollering. They were talking smack and heckling the Jacksonville Icemen. And at least a couple of them knew who I was because when I walked by, they were like, Rob Brown, that's Rob Brown. So when it was time to go on for this beer cam, I went up and sat by them, right? I told them, I said, here's the deal, guys. When we go on, I'm going to introduce the fan cam. I'm going to introduce the beer chugging element of this. And then the camera's going to pan out to your group of 20 people, and you guys are going to tilt your brewskis back and bottom them out on the fly so we get everybody else excited to chug a beer. They're like, heck yeah, let's do this. Let's go. Well, during this cam, Lonzo, because it's presented by Michelob Ultra, I hold a Michelob Ultra, right? I hold a Mich Ultra. And I did not think about that when this whole thing started. So the camera pans out. All the folks behind me start chugging their beer, and a couple of them are like, Rob Brown, don't be a you-know-what. Throw this down with us. I'm like, I can't. And then like half the people in the section around me, as I'm just holding a full beer, are like, chug, 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 chug. And I'm literally on the camera on the Jumbotron at the arena, and the folks in the section around me are like, chug, 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 chug. And the camera, man, Zoe, zooms back in on me. So now I'm just sitting there like, drink Mich Ultra, without drinking a Mich Ultra. And I recognized that if I didn't put this beer back on the Jumbotron, it was going to be a bad look for me. It was going to be a bad look for Mich Ultra, right? I just convinced 20 people behind me to bottom out their beer. It would have been a bad look on me not to participate in the shenanigans. And I'm sitting there having this existential crisis in my head of, here's the deal. I'm a man of honor, right? If I drink this beer, I got to go shoeless tomorrow. That's just how it's going to work. But I also know that if I even pretend to drink this beer, right? If I was to just put it to my lips and tilt it back and not drink it, somebody at this game listens to the show. There's 1,700 sports fan in this building. Somebody in this building listens to the show. Somebody in this building knows the challenge that I am in the midst of right now. Somebody in this building knows the consequences if I drink this beer. And even if I go bottle to lips and don't drink it, it was clearly a full beer, because initially I thought, I'm going to let somebody else finish the beer and I'm just going to hold the empty can, right? I'll just hold the empty can. But I'm like, if somebody takes a picture of the board with me on a damn Jumbotron with a beer turned upside down, pressed to the grill, there's no chance I'm going to be in here. No, guys, for real. It was empty. No. I pressed my lips together. I didn't actually drink it, even though there's a picture of me on a freaking Jumbotron with a beer in my face. I didn't do it. And I just came to the realization that, like, this is a no-win scenario for me. So I just put it up and downed it. Just up and downed it. I'm like, all right, guess I'm living the nightmare tomorrow.
Shout out to Joey, the cameraman. Your $5 is on the way.
I'll tell you what, if that was true, I would not be shocked at all. I'd be like, that is a mastermind move from Lonzo. That is some 4D chess out of the great one. He freaking got me. He got me. And it's a great way to do it, right? Like, I've had no problem over the past literally week. I've had no problem over the last week when I've gone out with people and they're like, Rob, you want a brew? No, I'm good, man. Appreciate it. I'll take a Jack on Ice, or I'll take a vodka water, vodka cran. I'll throw down some vodka crans. No problem.
Wait a minute. As long as it's cranberry, not out of a can.
Cranberry juice. Just cranberry juice.
Okay, because cranberry out of a can, I believe, is carbonated.
Nope, just vodka cran. Vodka cranberry juice. Had no problem going vodka cran, going whiskey and water, whatever the case might be. I got no problem with any of that. But I recognized in the heat of the moment that if I go beer can to face, somebody in this building knows me, knows the show, knows what's going on, and is going to send Lonzo a larger-than-life, quite literally picture of Rob on a Jumbotron with a Mich Ultra smash to the face. And there's not going to be a chance in hell that I'm going to be able to go, no, guys, seriously, I did not drink that.
All right.
I know that there's a 12-foot-tall Rob Brown with a 6-foot-tall Mich Ultra can right there on that giant video board up in the sky. but I really didn't drink it. Ain't nobody would have believed it. So I might as well enjoy the first beer in a week then just go nightmare fuel today.
This is something for you to ponder over the next 3 hours. These people at the Swamp Rabbits have worked with you for a while. They know you. So why would you not believe that you weren't set up to do this so you would fail?
So here's the thing. We do this fan cam every game, right? This is part of every single game. Every game, we do the Mich Ultra fan cam, where the camera skips around the arena and just catches people drinking a Mich Ultra, flashes them up on the board, and encourages them to drink the Mich. It is the first time. In fact, I may even have a phone call to make. Because when I got to the arena, right, I go in about an hour and a half before the game starts, so that the production team can run over all the different elements of the game that night, right? Okay, we're going to do at this intermission, we're going to do this game, and at this media timeout, at 10 minutes, we're going to do this video up on the board. And Rob, at this point in time, we're going to need you to hype up the crowd because it's a dull spot. We need you to get people worked up, right? I got there yesterday, and Terry is our production manager. She's a beaut, man. She's a doll. She's great. Super energetic about life. And she comes up to me about half an hour before the game. She's like, Rob, I talked to management, and they told me that for the Mich Ultra fan cam, they are good if you have a Mich Ultra, right? They're good with that because, I'm not going to drink at work, right? Like, I don't drink at work. So they're like, you are good to have a Mich Ultra for the Mich Ultra fan cam. Like, they don't care if you put down a beer for that fan cam to kind of like encourage people, right? Because we start on you, and if you go upside down on a Mich Ultra, it's going to get the other people like, oh, I'm going to do that too. And as soon as she said that, I'm like, uh-oh, this ain't good. And then, of course, I made the second mistake of, instead of staying down in the Zam tunnel and not being in the crowd and just being me, I could have just held up the can and then just waited for them to come off of me and then dumped the beer and come back and had an empty can and be like, oh, I did it, right? But I sat by a group of 20 people absolutely living their best life last night. And they're like, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, coward, do it, Rob, do it, do it. And the camera guy and Miss Terry, the production lady, just hung the camera on me. Just stayed right there. I'm like, guys, we're supposed to be filming the arena. And I just heard, nope, we'll get to them after you, big boy. Enjoy the hops and carbs, my man. And they just hung on me. And I am now recognizing.
And carbonation.
And I am now realizing. Now, I don't know if Miss Terry listens to the show, right? Great production manager, good person. Don't know if she listens to the show. But I do know that Jack and Timmy and Tyler and Sully and all the dudes in the upstairs office, I do know they listen to the show, and I know they're listening to the show right now. And this was the first game since last Friday that this went into action for me, right? Because I was out last Saturday. This was the first game that this was in action. And now I'm wondering, was this a setup? Was this a ploy? Was this a scheme? Was this a dastardly plan? Because they know, I don't know how to explain to you how uncomfortable I am right now. With my shoes off in a work environment. Having your shoes off in a work environment is akin to being the guy who microwaves stinky food at work.
All right, he's trying all this, but he knows there are a pretty high percentage of people in this building who go without their shoes on, including most women who work at places, because most women, women get away with this. They wear dress shoes. They take their shoes off in their cube or in their office, and no one says anything. That's okay. You're probably even okay with women doing it, which is, fine, which means guys can't do it, but women can. This is 2022. I don't know why you have a problem with that.
If you want
You're supposed to be inclusive, Rob Brown.
If you want to take your shoes off at work,
There will be photos and videos posted later. Yes, Steven. He has no shoes on right now. Ooh, is he gonna do the thing? Put it over on that side. Let's make sure we take no. Because we can take a picture and send it to somebody.
No.
And he'll find another place to sit.
No, I don't want evidence that I went to and threw a day at work without my shoes on because listen,
you just put it on the camera.
I don't want further evidence other than the one.
You know how many people watch this show?
The one proof to the folks in the stream.
All right, people and robots, but still.
The one proof to people in the Keegan said, "Sir, for free." Putting your feet on the internet for free. This is my new OnlyFans, y'all. The stream is my new OnlyFans. For more Rob Brown feet pics, subscribe for the low price of $9.99 a month. I don't want
wow, you don't have high self-esteem about your toes. You should be pushing them off as
I clip my toenails too, and
sexy digits.
I recognize
that.
I should have pampered the feet before I came in, and I forgot to.
Are they Hobbit-like? Only got a glance at them.
They're not disgusting, but they're
so why are Hobbit feet disgusting? From what I understand, people with hair on the top of their feet, it's proof of how intelligent they are.
You walk
also,
around,
you have a longer life.
Yeah, that's also what I said. What I would say if I was trying to get away with having some hairy ass feet at work. No. It just means I'm smart and funny.
Would you like me to join you?
No.
It's solidarity, dude.
No.
I can take my shoes off right now, and we both can be shoeless on a Friday.
No. I don't want anyone at work to have their shoes off. No one,
including the women.
So
if you are downstairs and you are wearing dress shoes and you are a woman and you're dressed business-like, because that's what you do if you're salespeople, as opposed to what we do up here, because you got to go out and make sales. You can't take your shoes off, or Rob Brown says you're disgusting.
If you want to take your shoes off at work, keep them under your desk.
Oh, we're changing it now.
No, Lonzo, when this whole thing started, where were your feet when this started? On your desk, like an animal.
My feet were attached to my legs.
Like an animal. Your feet, right? If you want to take your if you have
feet, you're an animal.
No. If you have feet on a desk or on a chair or on a place where other human beings
I just happen to know that management types. I was waiting for you to get it.
I know.
Management types go around with the shoes off all the time.
If I see even management types strolling barefoot down the hallway,
you ain't saying nothing to him.
I will absolutely say something.
No, you won't. You will not.
Try me.
I wish he was listening. He'll walk in here with his bare feet and enjoy this carpet.
Would. And I will call him out for it. Keep your damn shoes on. If you want to take your shoes off your feet, keep your feet under the desk where no one else will interact. That's it. So now I sit barefooted in this chair, effectively confined like a prison cell to this spinnable radius for nowhere else. And I here's the thing, and I'm realizing this as I talk, and I probably even shouldn't say it because I'm going to give ideas where ideas may not have yet been had. If there was ever a day where management type is going to send me a text, hey, stop by my office during your next break, it's going to be today. And don't you text him to tell him that. All right. I swear to you, Lonzo. I swear to you. This is the most uncomfortable I've been to do a show since I started doing this show. This is awful. It's excruciating.
When was the first time that mankind decided to cover their beautiful feet?
I don't know, but Nobel Peace Prize to whatever Neanderthal decided, hey, we should cover these nasty-ass things that are on the ground and stepping in dirt and mud and poop all day. That's what we should do.
I was going to say, you won't do that in the hallway, but I can't say that for certain. I cannot.
All right. Got a busy day today, ladies and gentlemen. Got a busy day today. How about non-tank commander PJ Walker? I mean, not PJ Walker. It was non-tank commander D'Onta Foreman. What did we say yesterday? What did I specifically say was the key to the game? 15 to 17 passes from TJ, 25 plus touches to D'Onta. What did the Carolina Panthers do last night? 16 passes from PJ, 30 carries for Foreman. What happened?
Well, I agree. And it's a good thing they didn't have to put it on the feet of the kicker because, that would have been a problem because extra points were missed last night. And it was hard if you use your feet for your job to be successful last night because of the wind and the rain. But Eddie Pinero's feet helped eventually. So
Pinero missed an XP. Kim missed two back-to-back. What do you have, like 78 consecutive successful PATs and then missed back-to-back?
Yeah, then his feet failed him.
You know what's really funny about that? What's really funny about that is that had Eddie Pinero, had Youngho Kim hit both of those XPs, the Falcons would have scored 17 points. That means we would have moved to 2-31 in games where opponents scored 17 or more. Instead, we got the win and did not put to bed the ugliest streak in the National Football League. All right, we're going to talk Carolina, Atlanta coming up on the show. We have got coming up on the show, obviously, this week's Boo Box Bets picks. Those are going to be at 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock, we will make our bets. And we will have, obviously, our college football and NFL weekend upcoming breakdown of the schedule top to bottom. Top to bottom. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have got a busy day lined up. Give us a buzz at 844-FAN-PHONE, 844-326-3663, 844-326-3663. And you can also shoot us a text on the preferred home services text line at 71307, 71307. Start your text with FAN, F-A-N, FAN, F-A-N. Texter said Rob is actually doing all this to hide that he really has a foot fetish. No. I'm not like anti-feet. I'm just like anti-feet
no.
around me.
It's the opposite of fetish. I guess it's repulsion, I suppose. Is that the opposite of fetish? Repulsion?
Yeah, I would say so. I'm the opposite of aroused by feet. Keep them off the desk and don't walk around in common areas without your shoes on, you animals.
Feet equals flaccid for Rob.
For people who don't know what you're talking about, that's hilarious. Let's take a break. We're back after this on the Rob Brown Show on the Fan Upstate.
By the way, I got the picture. I'm just trying to decide, how and when to post it. It's a little blurry because Rob was trying to move his feet.
Playing defense.
I'm no Keegan, so it's not a great picture, but it will suffice. I don't know, Keegan, because if I send it to you, you're gonna do something with it, and he'll really get mad at me. I don't know if I should do that.
Yeah, here's an idea. Why don't y'all both calm the hell down and let's not do anything? I don't need it on the internet that Rob Brown went through a day of work sans shoes.
You're right, because the stream is not on the internet, so no one will know at all.
I mean, they can't see me.
You have to do that. You just can't. I mean, it's like, it's like when you say the truth and the truth shows up, but he can't right now because he just had surgery. So I'm in a situation where I am taking great joy in this, but at the same time, I know that whatever I do will come back on me. So do I want to start a war or not? It's really hard for me not to. I just got to point that out.
No, I believe in you.
You know what would make it easier? If you just go ahead and take a picture of your feet yourself. So then it's quality. It's the angle you want.
No, we good.
You get your good side. I mean, do feet have a good side? I don't know. They don't.
No, their feet.
Hey, you know what? Rob's going to be on time for all the breaks. I'm not going to have to ponder if he's going to make it back in time or not. Although if he does leave, he's going to have to walk on that cold floor into that bathroom where people are not very accurate. How should I chart that last chapter? What should I put on there? I don't know. Gotta be clever here.
I'm not helping you.
So I have to write chapters on the Odyssey app. So if you go to the rewind option, the producer usually writes in the chapters. How would you guys chapter that last segment? Has to be something done with feet. They want us to be clever so that people will rewind and listen to the segments. If you guys have any ideas, I'd appreciate it, because I'm too much in this, and I think I'm going to miss an opportunity. By the way, this is True Punishment. Hey, Rashad's here.
Yeah. We got to do we got one more real quick segment, and then we'll bring you in after that.
Yeah. Hey, Rashad. Rob doesn't have any shoes on. He ain't happy.
Just giggling like a damn schoolgirl over there.
I am giddy. I don't know. Often, it's a large man is not supposed to be giddy, but I am giddy. Giddy.
And I am uncomfortable.
I'm Charleston giddy, which is rich giddy.
The Rob Brown Show rolls on. It is the Fan Upstate. My man Rashad Beer going to be joining us here in the next segment of the show. But before we get there,
welcome into the Feet Show.
Don't call it that. Don't call it that. Listen,
we're changing the logo to a big toe and a pinky. I'm just a pinky toe. He's the big toe.
Listen to me. Listen to me right now. I love the naivete, the innocence of Lonzo, bless his heart, right? I love that Lonzo has been able to shelter himself from the realities of the internet as long as he has. But if you call this the Foot Show, do you understand all of those people that we have to keep blocking on the Facebook stream when they pop up saying weird things will quadruple in a day?
So Ninja Turtle fans are going to tune in. I don't have a problem with Ninja Turtle fans.
No, stop. You can try to spin it and be cute. You call this the Feet Show? And you're going to have an army of Rex Ryans showing up in our chat.
I'm
here for the feet. I'm here for the feet. Where are the girls with the feet?
I just want to say this, that I have more trust in humanity than Rob Brown
You
does.
should.
Apparently, he thinks that there are a bunch of feet weirdos out there just because he has a problem with feet. Most people realize that you need feet to walk. You need feet to do a lot of things.
Stop it.
If-
you are
if
not,
you are blessed with feet.
You are not listening to me. Lonzo, there are people who pay money to get off on feet pictures.
Get off.
Yeah.
I don't understand what's that
To
mean.
sexually get off on feet pictures. I'm not even going to hold back. My mother listens to this show, and I'm not going to hold back on this.
You mean
there are people who pay money.
Like Poindexter on the couch, kind of,
I mean, there are people who pay money. Remember,
See, Kevin's right. You can't kick someone's booty without some feet.
You guys are entirely skipping right past the actual point to be cute.
All
I
right,
appreciate
so-
y'all trying to be cute,
so-
trying to be fun.
Highbrow on this side and on the internet, which is hard to say. Lowbrow over there. I think that your lack of socks
Listen.
and shoes are and the fact that you haven't been able to pee for like 45 minutes
know,
or
it's killing
30
me.
minutes.
I don't know if I'm making it to. I have to make it.
Hey,
to
I can
Listen.
attest to the fact that floor is cold and it feels awesome with your bare feet on it.
You walk in the bathroom barefoot, Brittany.
I do not eat with my feet. As we
Yo,
pointed out before, I shower daily,
I am.
except on Saturday. Sometimes, you just feel like being,
I am genuinely disgusted as a human being right now.
Thank you, Kevin, for calling me the toenail. I appreciate it.
Texas said, Lonzo, you have no idea the foot fetish people out there. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I don't believe
do
I don't
you wanna
believe they
know-
exist to
do
the
you-
degree that you say they do. Not in this area. We are upstanding citizens here, sir.
Google it. Google it on your work computer. Go ahead. They don't exist. Google it.
Hey, I can Google whatever I want. I know a guy over
Google
there.
it.
He'll take care of me.
Google
My
it.
search history's gone the minute I'm not worried about that.
This is the worst show I've ever done.
No, it's not.
The worst show I've
No,
ever
it's
done.
not. It is not.
This is garbage. If I was my boss, I would fire me right now. Rob, put your shoes on and use them to take your ass down to the parking lot. You're done.
No, because you have to do it throughout the show. So you'd have to walk down to the parking lot barefoot. So,
Dude.
which means you'd have to do on. I think the stairs are clean though, because it smells disinfected out there. I don't know why they had to do that, but it's gonna be all right, dude. It's gonna be okay. I suffered through having to wear Clemson orange. I still have some rashes in places from
I
wearing
want
that.
you to know.
I suffered through singing REO Speedwagon, which I will never recover from.
I want you to know. I would wear an Atlanta Falcons shirt.
But it doesn't mean as
Hey,
much
no,
to you as
stop
the
it.
feet do. That's
not
what
done.
a punishment
I'm
is.
I'm not done. I would wear an Atlanta Falcons jersey. I would sing whatever garbage song you're going to pick for me to sing. And I would eat whatever disgusting thing I need to eat again before I walk into that bathroom barefoot. Do you understand?
By the way, Kevin on the stream says nice flannel. That's the problem here. As a hipster, part of your uniform
No,
is your
Nothing
boots
to do with it.
and your furry socks, and he had to take off part of his hipster
Nothing.
uniform, and he doesn't know how to. He doesn't.
I literally have trainers on.
What's a trainer?
A freaking sneaker.
So
A
it's,
tennis shoe, whatever you want to call
so
it.
it's not all about that
This is
bass.
the worst show I've ever done.
We can go to break now if you
we're
want.
going to break right now. When we come back, Rashad Beard, host of the Panther Nation podcast, joins us on the show.
Hey, get us a break. Just put one foot in front of the other. You can get us there.
When we come back, Rashad Beard of the Panther Nation podcast joins us. Carolina, 10-point dub last night at home over the Falcons, and now only a game and a half out of the division, literally hours after we were all convinced it's tank time. What's that all mean? How's that shake up? We'll talk to Rashad and not Lonzo next on the Rob Brown Show and the Fan Upstate.
By the way, I'm not going to guarantee this is not going to happen, but we may have a foot cam during the interview with
No.
Rashad. We might just have one.
I don't think you
What
want-
happened, man? So you lost the bet?
All right, let me tell you what happened real quick, nuts and bolts version of the story, all right?
You got like 4 minutes. You got plenty of time to tell the story.
On Fridays, you pick 10 games against the spread, 5 college, 5 pro. Whoever picks fewer games correct has to draw a punishment out of a cereal box, right? And like there's eat stuff, there's like eat spicy stuff, eat disgusting stuff. Lonzo hates Clemson. He had to wear a Clemson jersey on the air for 3 hours, whatever. Dude, I despise people being barefoot at work, right? You want to be barefoot at your house? Whatever you want to do with your life at your house.
He doesn't like it if you're barefoot at
do
home
it at
either.
your house. Got no problem. All right. You want to do it at your house? Do it at your house. But keep your nasty ass bare feet off surfaces that other people got to interact with, right? If you walk around in the office with bare feet on, you are a savage and should be sent to live in the woods where you belong, you animal, right?
Do you hear that, women downstairs?
If you want to take your shoes off and keep them up under your desk where nobody else is going to be, I'm fine with that.
You're backtracking.
No, I'm not. If you want to do it under your desk. Anyway, the one that I drew last Friday, the first one was eat a jar of Duke's mayo during the show, right? Then I found an article from a gastroenterologist
Reddit,
who was like, dude, this can kill you if you're not healthy. I'm very clearly not healthy. Then I drew another one, and it was no carbonated beverages for a week. But like everything I drink is carbonated, right? Like sodas, beers, even my water, I drink carbonated water. Well, everybody was complaining that was too weak of a punishment, right? Like that's weak, dude. You can't do that. So I said, all right, I'll go 2 weeks, no carbonated beverages. Last night, I was doing the in-arena announcing for the hockey team, right? And they do like a promotion with a beer company with Michelob Ultra. And the team and the sponsor wanted me to have a beer in my hand when I went on camera for their little partnership sponsorship thing. And I was sitting in the middle of a group full of drunk people because it was dollar beer night at the hockey game. And they all started like chanting, chug it, chug, chug, chug. The cameraman zooms back in on me while everybody's screaming chug. And they're supposed to like film other people in the arena. And they left the camera on me and would not take it off till I finished the beer. So I had to chug the beer and I lost the bet. And the punishment for not making it 2 weeks was I got to go barefoot during an entire show. So I am, which means that because everybody else that I work with in this studio is a straight barbarian and they all walk around barefoot like freaking hobbits, I can't get out of this chair until 11:54 a.m. when I can put my damn shoes back on, Rashad.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes,
really.
it does.
It's you might need some therapy after this.
You're damn right. I might.
Should I call up the podiatrist?
It's not a therapist, Lonzo. Your jokes are bad, and you should feel bad. And I'm gonna run out of freaking drink.
No, you got carbonated in it.
I know. I brought 3 energy drinks. I'm like, well, I might as well now.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going all in. We're drinking all the monsters today.
Yeah, you're right, Wayne. There absolutely was a kicker who kicked barefooted, but according to Rob, he was a savage for going to work without his shoes on. Were you able to watch the Flintstones at all? Did you cringe when you watched the Flintstones? Did it bother you?
No, a cartoon about Stone Age cavemen.
With feet, bare feet.
Again, I'm not adverse to feet. It's not feet I have a problem with.
Have you
I'm
ever
at the beach all the time.
Have you ever watched Naked and Afraid?
All the time.
I figured.
It is not feet that I have a problem with. It is feet in places where other people are going to be in a place of freaking work. Rashad, if somebody came up into your house and sat on your couch and put their bare feet up on your coffee table, what are you going to do?
I think it would depend on the person. But
if it's anybody but your mama, what are you going to do?
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't want a person's foot on my.
Come on. You know, back in the day when you're hanging with your friends, everybody's at the house.
No.
Your mom's not there, so people are putting their feet in places where they shouldn't. That never happened. You're saying that never happened to you. I don't believe it. Your mom is listening. She will let us know if it's true or not.
As a child would call it. You come up into my house and put your dirty ass feet on my coffee table.
Yeah, but
catching smoke.
But
that's just what's happening.
You were a 1%er. Everybody was dressed in those little uniforms when they came to your house, so they probably wouldn't have took their shoes off. Notice he didn't refute that.
Because I'm trying to get work done over here, Alonzo.
Why try now?
All All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Rob Brown Show rolls on. This is the Fan Upstate. Howdy. Rob Brown, Lonzo, and you be a part of the show. 844-FAN phone, 844-326-3663. Text us on the Preferred Home Services text line 71307. My guy, Rashad Beard, is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. He joins us usually on Thursdays, but it was game day yesterday. Rashad was busy. It is what it is. I ain't mad about it. And what a game. Were you in the bank last night, Rashad? Did you brave the weather to get out there?
I was in the bank. Fortunately for me, my seats are covered. I have a slight overhang, so I didn't get wet. But I was at the game. Great game. Great W for the Panthers, and we redeemed ourselves from the last Falcons loss. I loved it. Had a blast. Great time out there last night.
What was the vibe in the building? Like, I mean, obviously it was nowhere close to sold out, but the folks that were there, were they up?
Actually, yeah, it was pretty good. I'm surprised that with the whole hurricane thing or tropical storm, I'm surprised with the amount of people that were out there. It was really good energy. The all black uniforms with the black helmet was great. They looked good. They played good. It was good vibes in the bank last night for sure.
I love it. Rashad Beard, host of the Panther Nation podcast, joining us here on the Rob Brown Show in the Fan Upstate. 25-15 win last night. I said on the show and on our pod, Rashad, that the Panthers found the identity, right? It is a more than healthy dose of D'Onta Foreman. It is a minimal amount of passing. I don't care who the quarterback is. PJ, Baker, Sam, Cam, Rob, 15, top 17 passes in that game, and have a good defense. Last night, the defense was over Marcus Mariota, never got comfortable. They ran D'Onta Foreman 30 times. You got 16 pass efforts out of PJ Walker to keep him honest. It's almost, Rashad, like they found the formula and it worked. My question is, are they going to go back to it next week, or are they going to do what they did against Cincinnati and just scramble the whole thing up again?
Yeah, see, that's the problem. And if you look at our victories, right, they've all come against NFC South opponents, right? So the question is, can you do it outside of the division? That's the biggest question mark for Steve Wilks and company. I think it was a great game plan, executed to perfection last night. That's what PJ Walker needs. If you're going to go out there and start a PJ Walker, he needs a D'Onta Foreman, where we ran the ball literally 47 times, almost 50 times last night. Obviously, the weather was a factor. You don't want to be throwing the football too much. The defense went out there. They created turnovers. They got sacks. You wanted to force Marcus Mariota to throw the football 30 times. That was the perfect game plan, executed to perfection, and I loved it. That's what you got to do. The question is, can you adjust? And I don't know if we can do that week in and week out. We're trying to dictate, but when it goes left, you saw what happened. I don't remember. I don't even think last week occurred, so I don't remember Cincinnati. That didn't occur. So Cincinnati didn't happen. It has to. We got to be able to adjust. This
is Rashad Beard, host of the Panther Nation podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Panther Nation PC on YouTube. They go live constantly. It's Rashad, dude. It's like the season's bipolar, right? Because it went from optimism to it's tank time to holy crap, we beat Tampa to all right, we lost to Atlanta on the road, it's tank time to we got blown out by Cincinnati. Hell, it sounded like even Steve Wilks was ready to tank, right? Like when he announced PJ as a starter, Lonzo and I both had to pick our jaws up off the floor. Bate came in and did 3 touchdowns and you're going to go with PJ. And my immediate conspiracy theory was they're doing this to tank, right? Like this is a tank job. Baker just came in and smoked the same Cincinnati defense. And granted, it was late in the game. They were already down 35. Cincinnati was kind of just playing that reserve defense. So Baker probably had it a little easier than PJ did, but he still got the job done. And you went back to PJ. Here's the thing. It doesn't really matter who plays quarterback when you're going to run the ball 40 times in the football game, which is what Carolina needs to be doing. And now all of a sudden it went from tank, excitement, tank, really tank to, boys, we're a game and a half back in the division. This thing's not. And by the way, a game and a half back in of a division where we now are level with Atlanta, right? Level tie 1-1 against them, and got another crack at a bad Buccaneers team to grab that tiebreaker. Are we back in for make a run to the playoffs, or would you rather still end up with that top 2-3 draft pick and a franchise quarterback potentially?
Yo, I could care less about draft position, man. We can play that game while we want to. I don't care where we pick. If you want a quarterback, go get him. If you fall that much in love with the CJ Stroud or Bryce Young, then you trade up and go get him. Right? You shouldn't let draft position dictate anything. Right? If you want him and you like that guy, go get him. I think we are in prime position to play for the division. Right? All you have to do is win the division and get into the playoff, and anything can happen at that point. I think we're in prime position, and it's not even just about this year. Like look at going forward, right? Where we are as a team. I know we talk about it all the time. Like we're in good position to potentially win this division year after year. We have the best young core in the division, in my opinion. And so I like where we are. And I want to win every game we can win. It's about you play the game to win. You don't play the tank. That player's not going to do that. So play to win, get the W's. You're close. You got a tough matchup against the Ravens next week. You got to play the hand that's dealt. You got to be fluid. It's a win-win situation for the Carolina Panthers. You win, you make the playoffs potentially or win the division. You lose, you potentially get a top pick. Just play the cards that are dealt and live with it.
Rashad Beard hosts the Panther Nation podcast here on the Rob Brown Show and the Fan Upstate. That being said, PJ gets the dub last night, but he does so on just 16 passes overall. You rolling him out against Baltimore? Are we going to stay with it, or are you giving Sam Darnold a crack at it?
Yeah, I don't know. And I just to address your point about throwing PJ Walker out there again this week, I think it makes sense. He played good against the Falcons the first game on a short week. You don't have to game plan as much. So I get putting PJ Walker back out there yesterday. And I'm not going to put too much credence in Baker Mayfield going nuts against a soft defense when we're getting killed already. I mean that I'm not going to give him too much credit for that. But I think this week on a longer week, you have a longer week to prepare. I think you need to take a look at who else can play quarter. You're not going to be able to run the football 47 times every week. You got to have a quarterback that's going to potentially put you in a better situation, whether that's Baker, whether that's Sam, I don't know. But PJ almost threw the game away a couple of times yesterday. So I don't know that he's the best option. He had a great couple of games. I'll give him credit for that. I don't know that he's the best option moving forward. I think you have to assess who's a better option. And I think, could it be Sam? I don't know. Is it Baker? I don't know. I just want to see us run the football successfully. But at the same time, you got to have a quarterback that can put you in a position to win. So I don't know that I give PJ Walker another crack against the Ravens.
All right. 15-second answer. You're taking two quarterbacks up to Baltimore. Which two you taking?
Give me, man. You got to have PJ just to be safe.
Okay.
I don't know. Give me Sam, man. Give me Sam. Let's roll it with Sam. Let's roll with Sam. Let's see what happens.
I never thought I'd be in a spot where I was going to hear a Carolina Panther fan, a Carolina Panthers super fan tell me, let's roll with Sam Darnold. But here we are.
Why not?
Things are weird. It's 2022. Things are weird. Rashad Beard, host of the Panther Nation podcast here on the Rob Brown Show and the Fan Upstate. Here's the other suggestion that is going to sound like it's fun. I'm not kidding. Let's just keep the All Blacks. Undefeated in the All Blacks, and the best look that we have. The silver helmets are a good look for Carolina. I do like the silver. That All Black last night. Look good, feel good, play good, win good.
Yes, it looked good. I agree. Second that.
All right, Rashad Beard joining us here on the Rob Brown Show and the Fan Upstate. So let's look ahead. Obviously, next time we talk to you, we will still have the Baltimore game ahead of us. But after that win last night, pulling to within a game and a half of a division, granted, it is an absolute dumpster fire of a division, but they don't hang a banner that says champion of the worst division that year. It just says divisional champ when it's all said and done.
Sure.
And Carolina, if I recall correctly, has the 27th toughest remaining schedule in the National Football League when it comes to win percentage. Rashad, do we got a chance?
There's always a chance. I do think we have a chance. The Ravens, I don't know about that one. But after that, you got the Broncos, Seahawks, Steelers, Lions, Bucks, Saints. That's not terrible. So I do think we have a chance, and I think they're going to go for it. So yeah, let's see what happens. Again, let's be fluid. Whatever happens. We're in a win-win situation. So I like it. We have a chance.
Baltimore went down to New Orleans this past Monday and put the demo job on the Saints. Saints banged up. You can make all the excuses you want. Just a bad football team, directionless, rudderless offense right now. Baltimore's defense, on the other hand, was flying around the football field. If Carolina loses to Baltimore, right? If that defense is just too much for whoever get out there, if you lose to Baltimore, what's the mindset going into those next 3 games, all of which are very winnable games after that? Is it still full speed ahead, full tilt ahead? Is there a regress? Like, where's this team mentally, in your opinion?
No, I think they're playing for Wilkes. So I think they're in a good space. I think they're going to continue to play hard and give it all they got. I don't think this team is going to tank. I think they're good to go, and I think they're going to try to do their best to keep Wilkes and put their best foot forward to keep him around. You can see the difference in the team. Completely different team under Wilkes. So I think they're going to continue to keep fighting. They're going to keep pounding. And I think, listen, you have to keep your eye on the rest of the division, right? What's going to happen with the Falcons, the Bucks, and the Saints? You have to keep an eye on them. And if you're in within striking distance, you have to continue to play hard. And I think we're in striking distance, so continue to play hard and play for that division. We'll see what happens.
All right, last one, Rashad. Baker said last week he wants to stay in Charlotte. He would love to continue to grow with this team if they want him to stick around. But obviously the focus right now is on getting better now and on being ready for the rest of this season, et cetera. After that redonk throwing catch from PJ to DJ that should have freaking won the first Atlanta game. We can come back to that later. And then even last night, as the boys were coming off the field, Baker has looked like the ultimate teammate, right? Like, first guy out on the field to congratulate PJ Walker for what should have been a walk-off touchdown pass. Last night, out there headbutting his offensive line without a helmet on. Baker, dude, relax. I do. I'm going to tell you right now, I do. We saw PJ get better when Matt Rule left. We've seen the offense grow after Matt Rule left. I want to see what post-Matt Rule Baker looks like before I'm ready to write him off. Yes or no?
No, I think that's fair. I think it's a fair assessment. Everybody looked terrible under Matt Rule. This is a completely different team. So I think it's fair to give Baker a shot. I do think they are kind of playing that draft, the draft pick thing. You know, if he plays 70% of the snaps, it's a 4th round pick versus the 5th round pick. So I do think that has a factor in it, especially when PJ's playing okay. I mean, we're winning. So I don't think that I would like to see. I think that's fair. I wouldn't mind seeing Baker Mayfield in under Wilkes, you know, playing with that run game, playing with Deontay Foreman the way he's playing. Can't be mad at it. You know, why not? Why not? Give him a shot. And I do think he's handling it very well. He's not making it about him. He's doing a great job. So kudos to him, because I think that's a very underrated thing for Baker.
Rashad Beard, host of the Panther Nation podcast. You can find them on social media at Panther Nation PC, but make sure that you find them on YouTube. Like, search, subscribe, do all the things with the bells and the icons and the buttons and whatnot on the YouTube. They are a phenomenal source of Panther news information and go live multiple times a week to bring it to you. Rashad, my guy, appreciate you, big dog. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, man, I enjoy coming on Defeat Upstate every week, man. I appreciate it.
Bye, Rashad. Appreciate you. See you next week, maybe. That's it. I'm killing this hour. I'm done. I'm Rob.
There's 2 more to go, though.
Maybe. Can we just replay that one again? Because I don't want to do it.
I could, but I won't.
I mean, that checks. That checks. Back after this on the Rob Brown Show and the Fan Up Feet. Rashad, you are the worst. Appreciate you, big dog.
All right, guys.
See you, brother. What a jerk.
Come on. That was awesome. I had nothing to do with that, by the way.
Yeah,
So
I'm sure.
I had nothing to do with it. People can do that towards you on their own. They don't need my help. And I refrained and restrained the entire segment, like you asked me to do, because I'm being Baker over here. Being a team guy. Did send out multiple texts. We'll see if any of that comes to light.
I'm just gonna turn my phone upside down and not respond to anyone. Oh, sorry, didn't see your text.
No. Where are you going? Where are you going?
to get a drink out of the fridge.
Are you?
And I'm not super thrilled about it.
It's not that far of a walk. You know, it's
I know,
like
and
it's like
I'm not
15
even worried
feet
about the carpet
maybe.
because the carpet's relatively brand new.
It's like a week old. I mean, you know, carpet is
I
nice.
also don't want anybody out there seeing me walking around.
There's nobody in the building. Oh, it feels nice, doesn't it? It feels good. I don't know how much of this is real, but I still don't understand. You're not eating off the floor. Why does it bother you if your feet are bare? I don't get it. But I am enjoying the fact that it's bothering him. No, man, I'm not going to do that, Kevin, because it will come back on me. I am willing to go to war, but you know, I don't know how personal things would get. I don't want to do that. You guys can make them think I did that without me actually doing that. I mean, I'm okay with that. It's taking him a long time to get down the hallway. You know, if he was smart, if he was smart,
I just brought them both so I don't have to go back again.
if he was smart, what he would do, since he doesn't want to walk on that floor, would be to set up a chair. There's like one right out in the hallway, and take a run out of the room and jump on that chair. He can make it to the
What if I
office.
could roll this chair all the way to the fridge back?
You can make it to the. There's like a
Once I
small
get out
chair.
on the floor out
No,
there,
no,
it's-
there's a small chair out there that you can jump on your knees. If you get a good enough kick on this carpet, you can make it to our office. You might have to do a little spin around.
because we got Mark and Terrell and Griffey all out there. I'd kill one of them.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I'm glad he went to the refrigerator, because you know what happens when he goes to the refrigerator?
Our bots haven't showed up yet.
They haven't. It's raining. They don't like getting wet. They short out.
We unplugged them.
Yeah. So with all this drink that he just brought in here, you know what happens after if you drink a little too much, you know what you got to do? I don't know if you knew this.
Oh, I already got to pee. I mean, it can't get worse now.
Oh, it can get worse. How can it not get worse? We've already had one person on this station have an accident. Let's not do another one. Nationally,
Oh, if this misses, I'm not picking it up. I don't know why I
it's
said
like
that. I
3
missed.
feet away. He's not going to miss
missed.
3 feet
I
away.
got no. I got the table block.
Yeah, but you also leaned into it, and you've got a decent wingspan.
Hey, buddy, how you doing? Check away. You have my permission.
You guys were finished. By the way, I didn't get around to replacing this computer yesterday. Might do it today, but whenever I do, everybody's going to need to log into their own account on that computer, which means we're going to have to set everything up.
Okay.
It's going to be inconvenient, is my point. I'm trying to warn you.
So you have been texting people. You absolute.
I told you I was. You saw me doing it.
Jackwagon. Chris, you could have been much.
Oh
less
no, Chris
conspicuous about
played it
that.
great. He could, if he would have went over there, you wouldn't
Yeah.
even have noticed. I mean,
No, I wanted.
yeah, that was the whole point. Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
But how he came in the room, you were not suspicious at all. That's because you know why?
He's
He's
talking IP.
No, because he's an actor. That's why.
Chris, I just
'Cause he's an
assumed that
actor.
I could trust Captain America to be a genuine, honest, not malicious actor in my life.
How's
but,
that malicious? It's just
but-
feet.
Everyone will be rolling with disadvantage on the 19th.
What if everyone's
Your
wearing?
character
What
walks
if?
into the dungeon barefooted. Roll Constitution check.
Yeah.
please.
Well, if we're walking in there barefooted, why not be barefooted while we play? I know.
Go away, Chris. Just who invited you? Put your.
I invited him.
Yeah, no, I know. I know. I know.
I bet that the back picture he just took is probably even better.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Our numero dos of the Rob Brown Show rolls on. This is the Fan Upstate. I am Rob Brown. He is the mediocre one, Alonzo. He'll get his nickname back on Monday.
Just call me mid.
He'll
I'm okay
get
with that.
His nickname back on Monday.
You know what? You keep calling me names. I'm taking my shoes off.
I don't work on that side of the desk.
I can walk around there.
No need. No need.
We could have a toe war. I'm glad we don't often get visitors in the studio while we're on the air, and I appreciate that.
Till you text them like, ha, 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 Rob hates his life. Come see.
Be glad that, the majority of the building doesn't like me, or there'd be a lot more people in here. Actually, I just don't. We got a lot of turnover, so I don't know a lot.
Hey,
of
let's
people.
talk anything else.
Okay.
Let's talk sports.
Let's talk football.
Hashtag stick to sports. Baker might be on the concussion protocol today. What were you doing, Bake?
You haven't done that before?
Headbutted a person wearing a helmet? No, I can
Yeah.
say I have never headbutted a person wearing a helmet.
Maybe it's because you spent time in Ohio. It might be an
Scratch that.
Ohio thing. I mean,
Let's clarify that for those who don't know what we're talking about. Not headbutted someone wearing a helmet. Headbutted someone else who was wearing a helmet when you were not.
hey, Rob, is a Glasgow kiss real?
Is it real in that can you slam your head into another
No.
person's head?
When
Yes.
Drew McIntyre delivers a Glasgow kiss, does he actually do it? He pulled the helmets in. He's barely touching it with his head.
No,
It's
dude,
not
but-
like we see color after and he's got blood streaming down his forehead.
The third guy he headbutted recoiled from it, and his eyes got about yay wide because he's like, Baker, bad move, dude. Baker was not, the last couple was not pulling. I'm pretty sure
It's a work.
one of them connected accidentally.
It's a work.
And then Baker was like, hey, I feel good, guys.
You know what? That headbutts you just did, that sounded real. Are you okay? People get attacked with microphones all the time, and apparently it nearly knocks them out. We've seen it happen.
You're just going to ruin everything today, huh?
I don't
ruin everything
I
today.
don't think I'm ruining anything.
ruining
I
everything
today. I'm just trying to I'm being the color guy on the foot show today.
All right. And listen, I'm just saying the consequences, the ramifications, the results of you saying that over and over are on you.
But here's the thing though. I'm not going nearly as bad as I could. I am holding back. You've asked me to not do things and I have not done them. So if you want to escalate
You
them
just call
by
other people to do it.
yeah, no, Chris ain't gonna post something on the internet. He hates social media. You don't need to worry about that.
So the Attorney General of Washington, D.C., we told you yesterday during the show that at 1 p.m., he announced he was going to have a major announcement regarding the investigation into the Washington Commanders, bum. And he did make that announcement at 1 o'clock. District of Columbia Attorney General Karl Racine has filed a lawsuit against Washington Commanders owner Dan Snyder for allegedly covering up, quote, decades of abuse and sexual harassment, end quote, inside of the Commanders. However, inside of the 45-page complaint that was filed with the lawsuit that the Washington, D.C. Attorney General filed yesterday was another name that has been added to the list of defendants. That other name is NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. Goodell and the National Football League have been named as co-defendants in this lawsuit. Racine is ultimately alleging that Dan Snyder was covering up his own misdeeds within the program and that Roger Goodell and the National Football League were covering up Snyder's cover-up. Racine says that the alleged collusion came in the form of manipulating what the public knew about the Beth Wilkinson workplace investigation into the Commanders, which ultimately ended with a verbal summary of findings that was foggy at best and a $10 million fine for Dan Snyder. The AG claims that Snyder, Goodell, and the NFL worked to, and this language comes directly from the complaint and the filing of the lawsuit, quote, deceive residents of the District of Columbia, end quote, and ultimately defrauded customers who were spending money to support the team through ticket purchases, merchandise, and other financial transactions. Racine said, quote, the defendants lied about what they knew, and then the defendants lied about what they were going to do about it, end quote. The interesting aspect about this, the NFL has had a couple of owners, Jim Irsay being the most vocal, that have spoken out about Dan Snyder. For about 2 years now, Jim Irsay has been saying it's probably time for Dan Snyder to move on as the owner of the Commanders, bum. But you'll also notice that most other owners have not rushed to the defense of Dan Snyder, as is ordinarily the case in a situation like this, right? Ordinarily, you would have a bunch of owners that would be coming out and, oh, you know, it's unfortunate, but you know, at the end of the day, he made good, he made right, he paid his fine, he did his sensitivity training or whatever. But this is the first time that the NFL has been dragged in, not as a subject, but as a defendant. So what does that mean for the league? What does that mean for the team? First off, in my opinion, Dan Snyder's days as an NFL owner are now numbered, right? They are limited. He is going to be done at some point. There has already been the report that Dan Snyder reached out to Bank of America Securities and asked their help in financial explorations of opportunities with the team. That is to say, more than likely looked into the potential of the sale of the Washington Commanders, which is, I don't think it really shocked any of us. But now the league is involved. Snyder's problems are now Roger Goodell's problems. And there's really two possibilities here. Possibility number one is that the Washington Commanders, in the statement that they issued on Wednesday that we broke down yesterday on the show, right? I told you about the statement the Commanders released. The statement the Commanders released was, we're disappointed. We feel like they're misconstruing evidence. And, this is an attorney general who's trying to get his name in the headlines a few times before he moves on to the next phase of his career. Is that a possibility? Sure. I don't know Carl Racine or Racini or however you pronounce it. I don't know him, right? Maybe it's just a PR ploy for old Carl. But the other option here is that the Attorney General of Washington, D.C., where all the biggest politicians in the country are based out of. The other option is that the Attorney General of Washington, D.C., did a deep dive, spoke with more and more people who have been willing to come forward over the years and tell their stories, was able to come up with some evidence that those stories, those claims were all accurate and true, and decided to fire a shot, right? Decided to fire the shot. For the most part, aside from these investigations, these stories, these hearings being ugly in the public eye, for the most part, there wasn't really a threat to the league, right? Dan Snyder was that annoying guy in your group when you go out, right? You go out with a group of friends, and everybody's cool, everybody's chill, but then there's that one dude who won't stop being weird.
Because he never wears shoes.
Yeah. There's that one dude who won't stop being weird, and you're like, hey, Beef, settle down. Hey, Beef, knock it off. Hey, Beef, quit hitting on the waitress. She's not interested. Hey, Beef, put your shoes on. Hey, Beef, stop being a weirdo, right? And Beef just won't stop. And at the end of the day, he's not really harming you or harming anybody else. It's just, the dude's being weird publicly and everybody's looking at you like, oh, those guys are hanging out with the weirdo over there. Hanging out with a weirdo? That's weird. But then Congress got involved. Then Racine got involved. Then Virginia AG Jason Mieres got involved. Both of those were separate investigations. Then the Beth Wilkinson investigation. Remember that investigation started as an in-house investigation, right? The Washington Commanders were going to investigate themselves. And they were like, yeah, we found out some stuff, and Dan's going to pay up $10 million. The billionaire's going to pay up $10 million. We'll all be fine. They'd be like me being accused of something and going, I'm going to investigate myself. Okay, I'm done. I'm going to pay a $10 fine, and we'll call it even, right? Like, not really. $10 million to a billionaire is pocket change, kids. It was nothing. After all of that happened, Congress got involved. AGs got involved. And now there are lawsuits involved. Which means that now the NFL has a much bigger problem. Why? Because the commish, a useful fool in the eyes of the owners of the National Football League. As we have said many, many times and will many, many more, commissioners are looked at by the public incorrectly. We look at them as the primary authority in the league. They're not. They're not. You know what they are? They're the chief of police, man. That's what they are. Do they have authority? Hell yeah. Do they have the ability to enact? Yes. Do they have the possibility to react? Yes. Do they have some level of autonomy to make things happen? Yes. But at the end of the day, they do so at the will and discretion of city leadership, right? They've got to have the permission from the city council. They get their budget from the city council. That's what Roger Goodell is. Does he have permission to act? Yes. Does he have permission to bring down justice in the NFL? Sure. But he does so only at the will of the ownership group. Roger Goodell being named in this lawsuit, and the National Football League being involved in this lawsuit, is going to create a massive problem. It is going to create a situation where, via discovery and other legal tactics, these lawsuits are going to lead to people diving into the NFL, I think, in a way that has never happened before. And if they can prove that Roger Goodell had any role in helping Dan Snyder, A, do the things that Dan Snyder is accused of doing, and B, helping Dan Snyder cover up the things that Dan Snyder is accused of doing, not only will it be the end of the tenure of the Ginger Hammer, but on top of that, it will be a reflection on the league and ownership. Is this the death of the NFL? No. No, we love football too much. All right? Let's be real. If there was going to be a death of the NFL, it would have happened 10 times over by now. We love football too much. We are all willing to watch football, even when there are some terribly gross things going on. But What I think it can do is create a situation where legislators around the country that run the country may not make it so easy for the NFL to operate the way they've always operated, right? The antitrust laws, the anti-monopoly laws, which for decades have been relaxed in the favor of the NFL, suddenly those might be tightened up a little bit. The ability for cities and states to give major financial offerings to individual NFL franchises, that might become a little bit more difficult. Owning an NFL team may become a little bit more difficult than it has in the past. And on top of that, they might very well lose Roger Goodell in this case. Losing Roger Goodell, who has more than proven that he is happy to be an ownership stooge for the right amount of zeros on a paycheck. Now you got to find somebody else. And my question is going to be, who's going to step into that role? If it's harder to be owners now, and you got to step in and you've got to be the designated bleep toy of the ownership of the NFL, who's going to want to step in and be that guy, right? Especially now knowing that prosecutors around the country are willing to straight up file lawsuits that involve you, that name you, right? I'll tell you right now, Zoe, I can bash on Roger Goodell all I want, but if the NFL tomorrow called me and said, hey, Rob Brown, $27 million a year to be the commissioner of the NFL, you know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. See y'all. I'll be back.
You keep saying who's going to step in. A lot of people will say yes.
Sure.
Probably most people.
But they can't act like Roger Goodell, because what's the point of getting paid $27 million a year if you're going to get, 2-3 lawsuits a year by this is not a civil suit by just some dude or just some lady. This is the not one, but 2 different attorneys general of recognized territories of the United States. These are bigwig lawsuits. This ain't a nobody.
Yeah, but they're not going to eliminate the position. The position is going to exist. It's going to need to exist. They need a mouthpiece. They need someone out there to represent all the owners. So someone will be doing this job, whether it's Goodell or not. And this is one of those jobs. Sports commissioners has got to be one of the best positions to a degree, because the longevity, there's no turnaround when it comes to that. When you become a commissioner of a sport, whether it's baseball or football or basketball, you're there for a really long time.
Usually, yeah. And again, like I said, if somebody called me and asked me to do that job, I'd say yes, but I would also be pushing back and going, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not doing anything that would bring me into the sight line of the attorney general of any state, right? Especially not DC, but of any state, of any territory, of any district. Ain't happening, right? No good at making $27 million a year if you're going to be staring down lawsuits that could cost you $27 million a year. It's the weird look. It is. So anyway, we'll see what happens with that. We'll keep right. Why am I so interested in what happens with the Washington Commanders?
I don't know. The question is anybody else as interested in it as you are?
Don't know. 844-326-3663.
See, here's what he's trying to do. And not that he wouldn't have done this anyway. He's trying to get real serious on the topic where people can't throw foot jokes out, but I will commend the stream because they're doing it anyway.
Big changes are afoot for the league. Cool. You guys are just the best. Just the best. Take a break. When we come back here in just a minute, let's start breaking down our college and professional football schedule for the weekend.
Yeah, let's get this. I got to go to the restroom. So come on. Now, you've been drinking a lot. You probably might want to take this opportunity yourself.
11:54 a.m. 1 hour, 34 minutes remaining. Can the Gamecocks win at the Gators? Who toes? We'll talk about it when we come back. I'm Rob. He's Lonzo. This is a very uncomfortable edition
It's not as funny when you do it.
of the Rob Brown Show on the Fan Upstate.
You think you're still in Thunder. That ain't going to work.
The game is afoot, Lonzo.
He's going to try to go serious like the entire. Why did that stop? Weird. He's going to try to go serious the entire rest of the show you watch. It's one of them there radio tactics. I don't know why I'm taking my phone with me. Imagine why. You look pretty free there. Look at that. Up.
I know. I keep slinging my feet forward because it's a habit and it's aggravating me.
There's something in there that makes him special. He's got a lot of fight, and for him to be here, to be playing the way he's played this year outside of a couple of quarters says a lot about him. And, I still have a lot of faith in him. I still have a lot of confidence in him. We had a rough half of the first, there the other day, but it's all within our control. It's all within DJ's control.
Taking player point prop bets in the NBA can be a risky proposition unless, of course, you're betting on Luka Doncic. No one has a higher point prop in the NBA this year than Luka. Been set all the way up to 33.5 points this year, and no one has consistently hit it more than him. He's hit his point prop in 7 of his first 9 games, and he shows no sign of slowing down.
You should be happy. Lee Rogers will not come look at your feet. I tried to get him to.
Good.
Tried to get him to. He wouldn't do it.
Lee is a normal human being.
He's been in radio forever. He understands about these things. He must just like you more. I don't get that. I mean, I've known Lee longer than anyone else in South Carolina. You think he'd come over and help me out by looking at your feet?
Nah. No need.
That's a good one, Josh. Totally.
Great, the Panthers couldn't hit
No,
you.
totally. You don't see the totally thing? It's at the bottom.
Yeah, I get it.
Totally.
I'm ignoring it.
See, it's TOE.
I expect
That
better
makes
out of
it
expect
totally-
you better. I expect better out of you, Skrilla. I do. I thought we were friends, buddy. Skrilla, the recipient of many a bro hug, has decided to heel turn on me.
It's not a hill turn. This is proof that you have friends. They're willing to make fun of you. People who don't care are saying nothing. So if you've enjoyed the Rob Brown Show over the years, please feel free to leave a message on the stream that's foot related, because
Or-
it will let him know that you care.
Or feel free to not do that.
Let's have some fun on a Barefoot Friday. Woo!
Barefoot Friday is not a thing. Is not and will not be a thing.
Oh, it might be going forward. Sorry, I'm not on screen because I'm eating, but I'm trying to keep my food as far away from the smelly feet as I can. You know what? You know what's a big relief is when you really got to go and you go to the restroom and and afterwards you're just like, yeah, I feel good now. You still got time, Rob. If you wanna go.
Nope.
How the
Anybody
monsters?
who's willing to walk into
how
a
are the
public
monsters
bathroom
going?
footless needs a therapist.
Footless? How do you walk in there footless?
You know what?
One thing you find out when you do something like this, you find out who the serious people in radio are, and you find out who the people are who like to have fun and think it's funny.
Yes, you know me. Fun enemy, Rob.
I'm
Brown.
not talking about you. You're being punished. I'm talking about the people who I've invited to come in and view your punishment and who are not having any of it because they're serious. I am a serious radio professional. No, you're not. Ain't nobody in this building that serious. Upstairs or downstairs. Well, I can't. Maybe downstairs. I don't know everybody down there or like anybody down there. Hey, are we done with the high school guys coming on?
Oh crap! No, they come on at the next segment.
Also, they're not in studio.
No. The Rob Brown Show rolls on. It is the Fan Upstate. Rob Lonzo and you, 844-FAN phone, 844-326-3663. Text us 71307. Start your text with FAN, F-A-N. FAN, F-A-N.
Hey, you know what I really enjoy? Aside from looking out the window at the rain, I like waterfalls. There's something about the flowing of the water that really, I just love. You know what? I think it's TLC did a song called "Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls." That's a good tune. Bridge Over Troubled Water. That's a good tune also. Feel free on the stream to any water songs. I'm just interested in what you guys can come up with.
Rain over Georgia. Kentucky rain. Here comes that rainy day feeling again. And let me just say that I like Lonzo. I do. I like Lonzo. I like him as a person. I like him as a friend. I like him as a coworker. I like him as a co-host. I love him as a producer. Lonzo is barefoot tiptoeing on some lines right now. And
I'm not though. I could
dancing like a ballerina on those lines.
My tutu is pristine.
Dancing like a ballerina on those lines, just having a ball doing it.
By the way, Kevin, I think it's I love a rainy night, not I love a rainy day. I don't need to be correcting,
Anyway,
the reason why we're having this discussion is that Rob failed, which is it's horrible. I hate to see a friend fail, but he failed. But because he's a man, he's fulfilling his promise that if he failed at something, that he would be barefoot all day during the show. And the cool part is I came into the office, he said nothing. He just walked in and took his shoes off, so there's no build up. And he's handling it really well, except for the fact that he's drank some water and a bunch of monsters and he probably needs to go. And I don't want his antiness, I don't even know if that's a word, but we're going to go with it, to cause difficulties on the air or with his prostate. So,
Can we get back to football now? Can we talk football now?
yeah, because it's got foot in it. So I'm down. I haven't put any pictures online, and you talk about dancing on the edge of that thing. I haven't done that. You remember, all these people took pictures of me in a stupid Clemson gear. All right. Your feet have been shown on camera once. So don't talk about towing the line.
I don't think you understand how much I hate this.
Yeah, I do. Do you think I enjoyed wearing orange? No, I did not.
Texter said, in all caps, Purple Rain. Another texter said, hey, Lonzo, how about some Footloose for bumper music?
That's awesome. The only problem with me playing some of these wonderful tunes is that I can't play them on stream. So, streamers won't get to hear it.
Texter,
So.
plot twist. Lonzo loves this because he has a foot fetish.
That's just gross, dude. I don't get feet people.
Texter said, Lonzo, you have no idea the foot fetish people out there have. People aren't sexually attracted to Clemson orange. Texter,
Wait, I didn't get
Rob,
that.
if your feet are dry, you ought to rub some Duke's mayo on them.
You know what? Ain't nothing like some Dukes. I'm guessing because you love Dukes, like in between your toes, so it's nice and squishy. You ever stepped in mud or something bare feet? No, you probably haven't because you've been wearing shoes since you were born.
For many years. If this show doesn't stick to football, that's okay, right? This show's about everything. This show's about life. It's about having a good time in life. I've said my whole career, you are not going to get 3 hours of nothing but sports on the show. Rarely ever.
We are having a good time. We are.
But I have never wanted to stick to sports so bad in my life as I do right now. Right? It is what it is. Marshawn Lloyd update. Shane Beamer said that he is hopeful that Marshawn Lloyd will be able to play for the Gamecocks this Saturday in Florida. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, as good as the other guys have been, as good as CBS has been, as good as Juju have been in relief duty, without Marshawn, the Gamecocks winning this game at Florida is contingent upon Marshawn Lloyd playing. If he plays, they got a shot. If he does not, I think you're up against the wall.
What about playing he and Bell? Jaheim, if Marshawn can't go, Jaheim Bell, honestly, probably should be RB1. Let's play them both.
Yeah.
Let's get a nice rotation.
And this is what I said about getting Marshawn back earlier in the week, whenever he comes back, whether it's this week against Florida, next against Tennessee, or the finale against Clemson. It is not just that you get the man with the third highest total rushing touchdowns in the Southeastern Conference back in the lineup and his ability and talent that comes along with it. It is also the fact that you free up other guys, right? Jaheim Bell should be on the field for pretty much every snap South Carolina takes. Jaheim Bell should be getting 17 to 22 touches a game consistently. That is not the same as saying Jaheim Bell should be running the ball 17 to 22 times a game. You should be utilizing him as a tight end. You should be utilizing him as a wingback. You should be utilizing him as a slot receiver. You should utilize him as a tight end that splits out to wide receiver. When you know you've got man, make him take a wide receiver, make him take a linebacker out into coverage, right? You give me Marshawn back, and that becomes much easier to do. You free up everybody else around you when you do it that way. Marshawn would be huge in this game because here's the thing. As we have pointed out, Zoe, the Gamecocks' preseason expectations were what? For the majority of us,
bowl eligibility.
The Gamecocks are bowl eligible. And they are bowl eligible with 3 games left to play. My take at the beginning of the year was bowl eligible 6-6, 7-5 would absolutely be a feather in the cap of Shane Beamer. 8-4 is statistically improbable, but definitely possible. Now, you are not beating the Tennessee Volunteers, okay? I don't care that Mizzou took Georgia to the wire. Tennessee is now playing for style points, where at that point, Georgia was pretty much like, hey, let's just go win every game, right? They're still in that mode. Tennessee, with the L under the belt now, has to play for style points. They're going to smoke you. The lady friend, Notre Gamecock fan, was like, can we go to Columbia for the Tennessee game? I'm like, can we? Yes. Should we? No, probably not. She's like, why? I'm like, I don't want to drive 2.5 hours to lose by 40, right? It's going to get ugly. But Florida is a beatable football team. The Clemson that showed up against Notre Dame is a beatable football team. It would still take South Carolina's best effort, but it's a beatable football team. Florida's the team you have to beat to get to 7-5, to get to a hallmark season, to get to reasonable but unexpected outcome.
I mean, hallmark under this regime,
That's what I
yes, but not hallmark overall.
No, not hallmark all time, but hallmark for the Shane Beamer era, right? This would be a check of, if the program gets turned around, hey, 0-2, 7-5. Nobody expected that. We did it, right? But to beat Florida, a team that has found their identity, Anthony Richardson has started to open up the offense a little bit. Florida's second in rushing in the SEC, and it's because of him, right? Quarterbacks have given South Carolina a fit. It's going to be a tough game to win. The ability to win is South Carolina's ability to maintain time of possession, ability to extend drives, to convert third and shorts, and that's where Marshawn checks in. It also opens up Jaheim Bell to do all the things that he does that aren't play running back. You give me a weapon like that as a wingback, as a slot receiver, as a second tailback, as a wide receiver, I can come up with a game plan for number 0 that utilizes him and frees up Marshawn Lloyd to do Marshawn Lloyd things and give us a chance to win. Shane Beamer said he is hopeful, not that he will, but that he's hopeful Marshawn will be able to go on Saturday. I'm telling you right now, if he does not, the Florida Gators will win this football game. If he does, you got a shot. Will that game be on our Boo Box Beck selections? I don't know, because I haven't picked the games yet. But probably.
Well, put your best foot forward and get to it, mister.
Let's take a break. When we come back, John Epps is in the house. Kevin Thomas is in the house. We have got a funky schedule in round number 2. Shut up, Lonzo. I showered this morning.
Yeah, but there's like green stuff. I'm not quite sure what that is. Maybe you picked it up when you walked in the hallway.
A damn liar. There are liars and then damn liars.
I
Hear that one.
I am prone to exaggeration for entertainment purposes.
All right, so we had a couple of games go down last night. High school football, round 2, had to kind of change it up a little bit because of whatever it is, Nicole coming through.
They didn't want to get their feet wet.
So had a few games last night. We got a few games coming up on Saturday, including Burns football, which will be playing 2 p.m. on Saturday. Unfortunately, I cannot make that game, so Cole Bryson is going to fill in on the call. We will let you know where you'll be able to listen to that broadcast very shortly. I am Rob Brown. He is the great one, Lonzo. You're listening to The Rob Brown Show on the Fan Upstate. Y'all are both muted, boys.
Hey guys.
Now I'm good.
I will bust your ass. I will bust your ass too. I ain't scared of you, Jim boy. I ain't afraid of you. I ain't afraid of you. Put your phone in your pocket, and then you can come talk to us.
You are welcome in this room at any time, Tim.
What's up, fellas?
What's going
Hey,
on?
Rob. Hey, Lonzo.
Hey,
You know what I should have done? I should have absolutely skirted the rules. Said I was going to work from home today and done it barefoot in my own house.
you wouldn't even take your shoes off at your own house.
I'll
You've
take my
already
shoes off
put.
at
You've
my
already
own
par.
house.
Come on.
Under my desk. I'd have stuck them under the desk and stayed right there. Do y'all, hey, when
Hey,
y'all
Tim,
are at the
hey,
house.
Tim, when you look at those feet, are they ugly or are they pretty? Are they just like?
Don't be
Yeah,
weird.
just
Don't be a
you're
weirdo.
right. You're
Don't
right.
be a weirdo. When y'all are at the house, fellas. When y'all are at the house.
You know,
do
as
y'all
far as
walk around
feet
like
go, it's probably average.
Flip flops,
Yeah.
or do you go barefoot in your own house everywhere?
Usually barefoot or socks.
Socks?
Yeah, I'm one of the right now. I'm socks because it's a little bit cold.
Yeah,
but like
I'm a
yeah,
socks
yeah,
guy.
but
Yeah.
I will say I do have like some nice like bedroom shoes, like bedroom slippers. I'll wear. around
Yes.
them, too. Yeah.
I got
nothing like that.
slippers in 3 rooms of the house so that I'm always ready.
Yeah. Okay. I like
I got a
that.
pair of slippers that stays by the back door to take out the dog. I got a pair of
Come
slippers
on,
in the
come on,
bedroom.
come
I
on.
got a pair
Hey,
of
John.
slippers
Hey,
in the
John.
studio.
John, your feet. You're barefoot, right? Because I'm. Yeah,
Right
I mean,
now I am.
these supposedly classy guys who don't take their shoes off in their house. This is weird.
Let me ask y'all a
It's just
question.
no. You're more weird than you think.
Let me ask y'all a question. Somebody,
You're right. He could use some Gold Bond probably.
somebody rolls up into your house and puts their bare feet up on your coffee table in your living room. What's the response?
I mean,
little too
I
much.
probably don't say anything, but I'm probably not inviting him back either.
All right. See, he uses these extreme things to make his point. Ask him how many times he went to the restroom today. Ask him that.
More than 2?
Oh, he can't. He won't walk in the hallway.
They may not know what's going on. At the hockey game last night, I was doing the in-arena hosting, and one of the segments is sponsored by Mick Ultra. And so they wanted me holding a beer in my hand for that promotion up on the Jumbotron. Well, the camera pulled out to show all the people around me chugging their Mick Ultras, and then they all started chanting "chug at me." And instead of showing the rest of the arena like they're supposed to, the camera guy then zoomed back in on me while an arena full of people was chanting "chug, chug, chug" at me.
You got to do
So
it.
I had to break my no carbonated beverages for 2 week streak and chug the beer. When a stadium full of people is chanting "chug" at you, you can't not do it. Knowing that I now have to do this show, I have to stay barefoot during the 3 hours of this show. And of course, that means there's no chance in hell I'm walking into the radio station bathroom without shoes on. I will go pee outside before I go in that bathroom.
So
If you
this is
do,
more
though,
than
you
that.
have to walk downstairs with your bare feet.
It's a tough day.
Tough day.
Man, I can't believe Lonzo was able to pull that off. Man, getting the whole arena to chant your name. That was a hell of a
So
move there
here's
on
the thing.
Lonzo's
Here's the
part.
thing. There's a young lady named Terry who is the production manager, right? Like she's the one who runs the ops in game. And I get there and we do this thing every game. We've done this thing for the last season and a half. We've done this fan cam. And she comes to me and she goes, "Hey, by the way, management cleared you to have a beer during the beer segment," right? And initially I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's cool, man. Like that'd be a good look, right? Like it's sponsored by Mick Ultra, like this one right
Right.
here." And then I get going, and like as they're coming to me, I'm like, "Oh my God, somebody in the Swamp Rabbits organization that listens to this show has just set me up to fail." They did. They trapped me. It was entrapment. It's Friday. It's usually high school football Friday. This is usually a day where I'd be telling you that coming up tonight, we got Burns Rebels High School football.
Except for it rained.
Except
We
for-
can't. You know, the NFL played last night. It rained. We got to move things.
First off, Zoe,
I know. No, this is a high school segment. I don't care. This bothers me,
rain brings lightning. They're not going to put these kids out in lightning.
dude. There's no lightning going on right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know Zoe went to meteorology school and knows what the weather's going to be tonight.
Yeah, like a lot of people on the radio who were telling you the weather. No, I did not.
Right. I'm aware. They're not going to risk it. A. B, high school football generates its revenue off of ticket sales. They got to have as many people in the stadium as they can.
It's I've heard that lame excuse a bunch.
Now this is just tough guys going, "Back in my day, we'd have played in the damn pigsty if that's what we needed to do." That's what's happening.
Listen,
Tough guy.
never trust a guy without his shoes on.
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah, you're tough. Show me your toes.
It's a weird sentence. All right, let's bring in, ladies and gentlemen, the fellas from the Moving the Chains podcast, which is available on Stitcher, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Google Play, et cetera, et cetera. KT, Kevin Thomas, John Epps in the building with us as well. What's up, fellas?
Rob, man, yeah, I'm excited for some football, but I wish we had better weather, 100%.
Out of two, game for the Burns Rebels is now tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. kickoff for that one. First off, and I don't know how much insight you guys have into the decision-making process, right? Like, I understand moving the game, and I get moving the game, but why are we moving the game to 2 p.m. on a Saturday as opposed to like 7 on a Saturday?
Yeah, I have no idea how they're, I've seen Saturday at 3, Saturday at noon, Saturday at 5. It's all over the place. I don't know how those decisions are being made as far as the time goes. That is a very good question. But we've got a whole gamut from noon to probably 7 o'clock tomorrow night of high school games lined up, it looks like.
It's interesting. It really is. So let's go ahead and jump into them because we are in round number 2, and it is now loser goes home. And we'll start with that Burns game. Burns is at Blythewood, which is over towards Columbia. And this one's interesting because I think a lot of folks, and I'm definitely not looking directly at Kevin here, took Hillcrest last week. I had to listen, that's a tough team at home. Judy is one of the better quarterbacks in the upstate, and even playing not 100% last week, was dropping some dimes on the Rebs last week. But Kevin, the Rebels went on the road, got the 31-28 win. It was a heck of a lot closer than Burns would have liked. I mean, they're up 17 at the half, probably should have been 24 with the exception of the kickoff return. But Burns at Blythewood, probably the first game in a hot minute that Burns is going to enter into, is probably a slight favorite, I would think.
Yeah, I think so. Obviously they're a 4 seed, Blackwood's a 1, but I don't think that's really the case when you line up the teams side by side. I actually saw this Blythewood team play earlier in the year. They're pretty strong with the offensive and defensive line, especially. They've got a kid on the D line, Robinson, who has 24 sacks on the year. Really gets after the quarterback very well there. The quarterbacks, they kind of rotate 2 guys. The old saying, if you got 2, you don't have 1. I think that still kind of is the case for them with Collins and Herden there. Burns is just getting hot at the right time. Livingston back is huge, getting that run game going. They found ways to get Bomar involved more and Cook involved more. The Rebels are rolling, man. I think they get a win on the road tomorrow, even with all the craziness going on around that program and getting the days changed and all that stuff.
Yeah, John, they had the car accident that took Chris Foster and Caleb Melton, both two-way players, really good players. A lot of emotion in that game last week. Can a high school team ride that high 2 weeks in a row, especially when not only is it a weird time change going Saturday at 2, but that's Saturday and 2, John, after a 2.5-hour road trip to get there.
Yeah, that's certainly not easy. It's not ideal. And these kind of funky schedules and funky game times, I think it's really beneficial to be able to play at home because you have a little bit more of a comfort, being around your surroundings, being in your school. That's going to make it a little bit tougher for Burns. But what is really on the Rebels side here, they're the better team. You look at this Blackwood team, they've played pretty good football lately, mainly on their defense. Last 5 games, they have pitched 3 shutouts. Last 5 games. They have really played some hard-nosed defense. But that works out for Burns. Burns, they proved it last week. They can run the ball. Livingston looked very fresh. He was out for a little bit toward the end of the year. Now he looks great. He looked awesome out there Friday. It's great to have him back. And then Shaw was brilliant. Bomar did a great job. I think Burns has the offense to be able to overcome a very good Blackwood defense on the road with the funky time, even on Saturday. Once toe meets leather, it's all football again.
We are talking to Kevin Thomas and John Epps of the Moving the Chains podcast. By the way, that game will be airing on 13:30 a.m. and on the Odyssey app. So if you can't make it over to Blythewood, but you want to follow along, unfortunately, I cannot make that game. So we are going to the relief. My man Cole Bryson returning to make the call. The former voice of the Rebels will be once again the voice of the Rebels for Saturday. After Burns puts away Blythewood, I will return to the mic next Friday when it looks like they might take on the Gaffney Indians, and we will talk about that if we get there. But let's stick with some of the games in this region, boys. South Point at Greenville, a couple of teams that are 8-3. Both of them played some really strong competition early. How about Greenville? 63-0, putting a squad away. John, this one, a couple of really evenly matched teams here, I think.
Yeah, you look at the beginning of the season, you would expect this to be potentially a upper state semifinal game or even the upper state championship. South Point has been a little bit up and down. The talent for the Stallions is certainly there. Their first game of the year, they embarrassed Gaffney. They beat them by 21 to start the season off. But South Florence came knocking, and they really knocked them down a peg. They've kind of struggled since that beatdown, but they're still a really, really good team. They've got all kinds of talent. On the Greenville side, though, you can't ask for any more offensively from what the Red Raiders have. Drummond's been brilliant at the quarterback position. Pepper, very talented running back. And you know about the talent on the outside with Brown and Mazia Bennett. I think Greenville is just too much for South Point, but South Point's got the talent, especially on that defensive side of the ball.
Let's take a look.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Kevin. Sorry about that.
No, I was going to say, this is a game where you may not find a better matchup of two athletes and from what you have for South Point and Greenville. I mean, both teams are loaded. This is going to be such a fun game. A lot of fun tonight at Stream Stadium.
Spartanburg at TL Hanna. Spartanburg 7-4, TL Hanna 10-1, but Spartanburg a 59-17 win last week, and they got a ton of talent. Jeter, Carter, those guys are outstanding. And a 1-point win by TL Hanna over White Knoll last week, a game in which they trailed by 12 entering the final period. Who do we like in this one?
This is a toss-up for me, honestly, Rob. You've seen Spartanburg firsthand what Jeter can do with those running backs, Carter and Kelly can do there for them. TL Hanna is going to grind it out, that wing team, man. I just think they don't quite have the explosiveness they need there. I like the Vikings in a close one on the road tonight.
I really don't know where to go with this one either. I'm going to go with the home team. When I get in a jam like this, I go with the home team. TL Hanna has just found ways to win ball games. It's not sexy. It's not loud. They just go out, and at the end of the game, you look at the scoreboard and go, well, shoot, they won. They did at Hillcrest a few weeks ago. They had a barn burner with White Knoll last week, another 1-point win. The Jackets just find a way to do it. They have a great quarterback that does a great job running their system, distributing that football on that wing tee option that they run. Spartanburg is the real deal. Nothing against Spartanburg. I think Spartanburg is potentially the better team in this game. I just think TL Hanna finds a way to win it.
All right, give me about 20 seconds on the last couple. Dorman at Dutch Fork and J.L. Mann at Gaffney. Kevin, John, give me J.L. Mann at Gaffney. Give me about 20 seconds on both because we're up against it.
Gaffney's too much. The Indians are playing really good football despite that loss at the end of the year to Burns. Gaffney is right where they need to be right now.
And then, of course, Kevin drops out. All right, I'll give you – oh, there he is. Kevin, give me just a minute about Dorman Dutch Fork.
Yeah, Dorman has to play a perfect game to win this one. They hadn't had the passing offense going lately. I don't think they get it going tonight. I think Dutch Fork is too talented. That team is rolling right now, and they're the team to beat in 5A.
Kevin Thomas, John Epps, they are from the Moving the Chains podcast. Find them at facebook.com/movingchains. Same on social media. And the podcast, they go multiple times a week, is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, etc. Boys, weird week in high school football, but should be a good one. Playoff round 2. We will talk to y'all next week. Appreciate it, fellas.
Thanks, Rob.
There you go. Kevin and John from Moving the Chains. We got to take a break. Hour number 3 around the corner. And then after that, I need to put my shoes back on. The Rob Brown Show's on your radio. It is the Fan Upstate. Corner, and then after that. Sorry about that, fellas. I lost track of time on you. My bad. The Rob Brown Show's on your radio.
That's okay. My fault.
My AirPods unconnected for a second, too. It was a whole mess.
I was going to say, Kevin, you sounded like you got into a fight with a transformer over there for a second, man.
No, he opened something up.
Yeah, what?
I was trying. These started breaking. I was like, let me just take these out. They did not disconnect. So I was like, they're just sitting here. I was like, what do I do? So we just
Oh no.
Hey, you got to adapt on the fly. All right, boys. Appreciate y'all. Enjoy the weekend. I'll tell Cole because he's on Twitter. He may be able to pop in if y'all are going to do a Saturday Spaces. Just let me know what y'all are doing, and I'll see if he
gotta
can
figure it out. It's a mixed.
That's
bag.
weird, man. So there's games starting staggered throughout the day Saturday, right?
Yeah, there was games Wednesday, last night, tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah.
Weird
Wow.
one. All right, fellas. Appreciate y'all. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. See you, Rob. See you all.
Later, boys.
Yeah. You know, if you'd like, you can go sit in that chair and I will wheel you over to the
I'll
restroom.
stand on the chair
No,
while I
you
go.
can sit in it. I think if you go into a stall, you might be good. Or you could do this. Probably shouldn't do that. I was going to say you could stand on the chair. I forgot how old these things are. And I'm not slight of build, so that was probably a bad idea. So, are you gonna like put together football picks? Because if we,
Yeah,
if we
that's
do
right.
it
That's
like we
like
normally
literally
do,
next.
you got like 5 minutes or less. So I got to find out where exactly the broadcast is going to emanate from and make sure that engineering has everything set up. Or maybe I don't have to. Maybe it's already done. Yeah, that's what it is, Kevin. It's toe tapping. It's not keyboard. It's toe tapping. I think he's starting to like it. Need to bring in about 3 offensive linemen to interview and have them all wearing sandals or slides.
Sandals
And they just slowly slip off their feet and suddenly their feet are bare.
Sandals are still better than barefoot. At least your foot's not touching something.
Yeah, but you wear sandals so you can take your shoes off. I'm gonna go with after 2 days. Although they don't go as hard anymore as they used to, but at least the sun is hot. It's a nice hot day. Need to let the footsies out, let them breathe a little. Nothing like the studio smelling like a locker room, like it does right now.
Texter said, you guys are living proof that men are children their entire lives.
Okay, why is that a bad thing? So this must be coming from a woman, I guess, because a guy wouldn't say that about another guy, would they?
My response, no, it's definitely due, because my response was, and they pay us for it. Isn't that amazing? And his response was, I'm not gonna lie, I am slightly jealous.
I was gonna say radio's where the Lost Boys live. That's all of us. If you put us all in a lineup, you go, that is the weirdest lineup of people I've ever seen in my life.
Hey, look who's back. What's this? We and us. Rob didn't think you were a Gamecocks fan. No wonder we don't have a Clemson beat reporter for this show, and the truth shall set you free. Again, if you listen to the context of the segment, I was speaking from the perspective of someone on the team or as Shane Beamer. I do that a lot, right? I put myself as if I am speaking as the person or people that I am discussing.
All right, I don't know why you're offended by this, because if this were the Gamecock show, it'd be the only one in the upstate, because every other show is a Clemson show, whether it's on this station or another one that's dedicated to it. That's what they are. So if this were the Gamecock show, cool. If you want Clemson, there are plenty of other places you can go and be satisfied, saturated in it. You can just sit back and in the glow of the orange and get your ego stroked.
The glow of the orange.
Oh yeah, wait. Clemson lost last week. You've already put away all your stuff. I forgot about that. All your flags, your magnets, your t-shirts,
number one,
your underwear,
your
socks.
I bend the knee to no team. Okay. I bend the knee to no team. Second off, I have been exceptionally proud of my ability to have people recognize, hey, Rob's pretty split down the middle. And I do that here. You don't have to like it. I just think that you're so used to hearing everybody kissing the rear end of your fan base that to you, when somebody doesn't kiss the rear end of your fan base, it sounds like they hate your team, right? Not sucking up to is not the same as being against, right? I'm just neutral. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for this week's Boo Box Bets picks. I am currently shoeless because I lost 2 weeks ago. Lonzo did not pick a punishment this week because I asked you guys to help me come up with more punishments for his box, and you guys sent me a bunch of really, really bad ones. So Zoe got off the hook for a punishment this week. I will be calling for more punishment suggestions on Monday for whoever loses to draw on Tuesday. If you guys give us some more good punishments, we'll put them in the box and we'll move on. If you do not, then we won't. And this is just a fun gambling advice segment. It's your call. We'll see you on Monday. That being said, let's get to it. The football's way over there, Alonzo. I gotta hang on. I can't walk over here.
I could come over and got it for you, dude. This goes beyond. This is
Okay, I'm back.
This might be, some psychoanalysis might be involved. The fact that you can't put your foot on the floor to go grab that. Come on.
Got no interest.
It's carpet. It's brand new carpet. They put it down last week.
People still walk on it. All right.
You are the only one that walks over to that part of the station.
Laces or spaces?
Laces.
You win. You want to kick or you want to defer?
I will defer.
You will defer. So you want to go second. All right, perfect. Then let us.
Thank you for clarifying that for my simple mind.
Well, defer technically means that you will make your decision later,
which is dumb. I just, when you defer, you're basically saying you want the ball in the second half.
Not necessarily. It means you will make. It means you would rather make the choice. I got into a huge fight about this with an old co-host of mine.
No, because it's dumb.
It's not dumb.
You shouldn't put. How many people defer and go, you know what? We know you got the ball in the first half. We want it.
I've seen it.
We don't
happen
want
by
it in the
mis-
second
I've
half.
seen it happen
So
by
you
mistake.
give them both opening. No, that's just
So defer means I'll make my decision later. Someone
how much later? Like after the game? It
at,
just
the,
it's
at the
just
start of each half, one team gets to make a decision about whether they would kick or receive, right?
stupid. So
And if you win the toss, you would say, I want to make my decision for the second half, right? I will make my decision about how we're going to start the second half, which obviously means the choice gets made by the other team. They're always going to elect to receive, obviously, right? But that's how it works. I'm not saying it's not dumb. I'm saying that's how it works. All right. Let's get started with this one. Oklahoma is not only taking on West Virginia, but they are doing so somehow as favorites. The Boomer Sooners, led by former Clemson defensive coordinator Brent Venables, are Lonzo -8 in this game over West Virginia. -8 in this one. I think this is going to end up being a potentially a shootout, right? Oklahoma coming off a 38-35 shootout loss to the Baylor Bears last week. They were on a 2-game win streak before they lost that one, but it was the Baylor run game that screwed up Oklahoma a little bit. West Virginia is a team that has dropped 3 straight. They're basically on a losing skid and trying to get it together. They've been surrendering 40 points a game, and they lost 31-14 to Iowa State. But they have a okay run defense. Not great, but okay run defense. And they're generating 32.1 points per game. Oklahoma is generating around the same. This game's got an opportunity to be very close, Lonzo. I am going to say West Virginia +8 in this one. I think the Mountaineers are within striking distance late. I don't know if they'll win the game, but give me West Virginia as an 8-point dog to cover.
So all my strategies have only worked once. And it really comes down to if I care enough about a game to go with my gut. In this one, I don't care enough about the game because neither one of those teams really mean a whole lot to me. So I'm going to say same.
This is just I don't want to lose again pick.
Well, I've been doing this for weeks now. It's only worked once.
Indiana, and you get to go first on this one, is on the road in Columbus, taking on Ohio State University. And the Buckeyes, are 40-point favorites.
Wow.
40-point favorites over
Oh.
Indiana.
Oh, what's the weather going to be like? Do we know?
Let's see. I'll tell you. I'm
Yeah,
willing
it's just
to do that research.
Because
for you.
that factored in last week for sure.
Let's see. Saturday in Columbus, Ohio, forecast is going to be about 40 degrees and rainy.
Buckeyes are going to win. They don't cover.
Lonzo going with IU in this one. Indiana. I'm up in the air about this one.
Like your feet.
Yes, they are. They have been and will not be going anywhere. I am up in the air about this one. This is one that if it was 65 degrees and sunny, I got no problem taking the Buckeyes. But the Buckeyes played in similar weather when they took on Northwestern and failed to cover a spread that was actually smaller than this. The weather's not going to be great. I was hoping potentially, because I am absolutely picking games with a vengeance, that after Ohio State with a 30-point spread cost Alonzo a punishment a few weeks back, that he might be willing to lean in that direction. But 40 and rainy, they can't go full tilt. I am taking Indiana to be inside of 40 points in this one as well. Like 37-0, something like that. Mizzou is taking on the Volunteers of Tennessee. I'm betting lead off in this one. The Volunteers are -20.5. This is the same Mizzou team that took Georgia to the limit. The same Mizzou team that came into Columbia and beat the Gamecocks, who were 4.5-point favorites in that one. This is the same Mizzou team that has given people fits all year long. But the Tennessee Volunteers are now playing for their lives. Give me the Volunteers to win by 21 and me to win this bet by the hook.
Here's the thing. Tennessee, they believe they're hyped. They went in and they got their butts handed to them by Georgia. Are they back? Are they really back? They had us convinced they were back. Now I'm not so sure. They're not going to go into this game and have that happen to them 2 games in a row. Give me Tennessee.
All right. So we got so far 3 games in, and we are all matched up as we both take UT. Clemson is on the road at Louisville, and the Tiger Men's are 7-point favorites. They got to win by 8 or better. The push is available at the even touchdown victory here. Clemson on the road at Louisville, Lonzo, -7.
Clemson's going to win this game. They will recover from the loss. They don't normally lose 2 games in a row. Even though their national championships hopes are dashed, they're not completely gone because there's a chance some other teams could lose and they could work their way back into this. At least that's the way they're going to think. So they're going to play really hard, and DJ is going to have an excellent game. And maybe Cade comes in and hands the ball off 3 times. But yes, Clemson wins this game.
I have been picking Clemson against the spread all year long. And all year long,
Only lost once.
Clemson's not against the spread. Not against the spread.
Well, I was going to say I picked Clemson all year long
to win.
too. Yeah.
I've been picking them to cover the spread all year long. And all year long, they have been about 500 against the spread. Doesn't matter. They're just better on paper. It's bounce back game. And I think they tailor the offense, right? Let's stop putting it all on DJ. Let's use the running backs. Let's run the ball. Let's stop outsmarting ourselves. Let's stop trying to just out-athlete everybody and play our game. Clemson covers up -7.
Especially if you are the offensive coordinator for Clemson and you see that the old guy is unemployed now. Maybe you, not that you weren't trying hard, but maybe you try a little bit harder now, knowing that maybe
Jeff Scott's right there.
Yeah, maybe. Could be the exact opposite. You could overthink it and get yourself into trouble. We'll see.
That is a fact, ladies and gentlemen. All right. South Carolina taking on the Gators of Florida. Marshawn Lloyd, question mark. This one's in the swamp, one of the toughest places to play in all of collegiate football, ladies and gentlemen. This one is going to be a tough one. Lonzo, give me the Gators. The Gators, they are -8.
I was going to say, what's the spread?
Florida's -8. They got to win by 9 or better. Pushes available on the even number. Listen, I'm in your corner, Gamecocks fans. If Marshawn Lloyd plays, you got a real good chance at upsetting some folks here.
All right. So let me just say this. I realize on paper and all that kind of stuff. Here's one of those picks where I have no choice but to go one way because, and I'm going to mention him by name, I am not picking Mark Ryan's team. I am not doing that. I don't know if that's the nerdiest thing to do or not, but I am not picking Mark Ryan's team. And I am going to pick the Gamecocks because the shame, the ridicule, because if Florida beats South Carolina, that's what they're supposed to do. And then he can gloat for a while because at least he's got that. Same thing that Clemson's going to be able to say, well, at least we got that. At least we got a victory over South Carolina. That's the same thing. And for him, it's the same thing. So, South Carolina, not only do they cover, they win.
USC for the outright win.
Yes.
He's getting 8 on the hook. So we're going
to get that 7th win. Then it's been done until bowl time.
One game separating us in college football, just like we did last week.
It might as well be that one.
Yeah.
It
might be. We'll see. We'll see our NFL picks shake up. And by the way, I didn't give Lonzo the game because I almost forgot to pick our games literally going into the segment. So I've had about 2 minutes longer knowing what the games are than Zoe.
He still wouldn't if I hadn't reminded him.
Correct. I'd have entered the segment like, uh-oh. Let's go to the NFL. Jacksonville is on the road. Lonzo, your bet and lead off for your own team as the Chiefs host Trevor and the Jags, and KC 9-point favorites in this one. Didn't hit the double digits. Trevor and the gang got a dub. Travis Etienne up over $100 last week. Kansas City -9.
See, here's the thing. Etienne may go off against Kansas City, but you know what? Kansas City can score in like 12 seconds. So you can have all those running yards if you want, and you probably will against the Kansas City Chiefs. But, and believe it or not, I like Trevor. I just think there's some things he can do to improve, like leave Jacksonville. But he can't right now. So come on, man. Kansas City's got this. You're not going against this. You're not.
I need you to know.
If you thought with your feet, you might.
Duval! Give me the Jags. What the hell? Let's gamble. Let's roll with the TNT show. I'm dynamite. Trevor and Travis. All I need them to do is just do what they did last week and keep Patrick Mahomes on the sideline. Keep him on the sideline. I know it's a dumb pick. It is my least confident pick of the day, but you're giving me 9 points. Give me 9. I'll take it. Give me the Jags. Lonzo rolls KC in this one.
9 in German means no.
9. Indy takes on the Raiders. This is a Raiders team that got shut out 24-0 by New Orleans. The Raiders team that gave Travis and Trevor the win last week. A bad Raiders team that is -5 at home against Sam Ehlinger, the Colts, and head coach Jeff Saturday. This game is gonna be an absolute boat show, Lonzo.
I think he went out of turn. I don't know whose turn it is, actually.
No, let's see. Yeah, you went first last one. This one's me.
I think you went first last.
No, I did not. You did.
Are
You
you
took
sure?
Kansas
Are
City,
you
and then you
absolutely
made a bunch
positive?
of feet jokes, so I picked Jacksonville to beat
I
you.
made 1 foot joke, not multiple.
Indy versus Vegas.
All right. All right. So
No, this one's me.
is it you?
Yes.
Well, what's taking so long?
Hey, Wes, can you call in for a minute? All right. Give me the Raiders, right? This team's got no business being as bad as they are. None at all. Now they come up against a team that, as of Tuesday, didn't know who the hell was going to be calling the plays, has a rookie quarterback who's getting mobbed behind a terrible offensive line, and now Jeff Saturday is the head coach. I got no reason to believe Indy, even with a +5, is going to be anywhere close to the Raiders. I'm trusting Las Vegas, which is a stupid thing to do. But if it's any other team, if it's against Detroit, I'm picking against the Raiders. But Indy's going to be a boat show. Give me the Raiders -5.
All right, because I don't believe that Rob really thinks Jacksonville is going to win, and he went out on
I
a
didn't say
limb and he
win.
did that. I know
didn't
it's
say
the covering. I get it.
I said cover.
I get it. And because I'm rooting for the story, because it's just going to make some people, especially on the national level, so angry if Jeff Saturday is on the sidelines. It looks like he has no idea what's going on.
Jeff Saturday
he's just-
1-0 as a head coach.
He's just walking around patting people on the back, and that's it, and smiling, throwing the thumbs up, like, you got this. He just runs out in the middle of the huddle before they go out and just does all this kind of stuff. Give me the Colts. Why not?
All right.
Give me the Colts.
Indy
Dude.
+5 in this
Dude,
one.
do you know how bad the Raiders are?
Yeah, they're
They're
atrocious.
pretty bad.
But so are the Colts.
But yeah, but the Colts won some games already. I don't remember the exact number.
Dallas is on the road, a showdown with Aaron Rodgers of the football persuasion, and the Cowboys are -4.5 in this one. Zoe, you're up.
All right, so I think you can look and go that there's no way Aaron Rodgers has a day like he had last
3
week.
picks against Detroit.
I mean, that was monumental for him, as in that just doesn't happen for him. And Detroit probably should have. Well, give me Dallas. I can't do it. I can't.
Yeah, no, I can't either. 3 picks, terrible. And it's not like it would be one thing if that was
But
like
still,
a one game
still,
performance, but they
if-
lost 5 in a row.
If New Orleans had a chance to get Aaron Rodgers right now, would you take him?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Over Andy Dalton.
Yeah, I know.
Chargers at San Francisco. Chargers went down, needed a couple of miracles, but they got by the NFC South divisional leaders, Atlanta Falcons, this past weekend, 2017. Now they're on the road, and they are catching 7 at San Francisco. The 49ers at home got to win by 8 or better over Justin Herbert and his Chargers. I am a big Chargers guy. I believe this team is laying the foundation to be very, very good, and they're going to start getting some of their wide receivers back this week. Give me, ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers to win by 8. Christian McCaffrey added too much to that offense. I like the Chargers. The Chargers are going to have a few lines like this that they're going to go win, surprise some people, win some money in Vegas for you. This ain't it.
McCaffrey's going to cover on his own. So, yeah, I'm going with San Francisco.
The score
Did you
will
see-
be Christian McCaffrey 17.
Did you see what he
Chargers
did
nothing.
last time he was on the
Yeah.
field?
Yeah. Run, throw, and catch a touchdown pass. All right, and we wrap it up with Lonzo's favorite, Seattle on the road at Tampa Bay. Tom Brady is -2.5. Bucks got to win by a field goal or better, Lonzo. This one's in Tampa.
That's it.
All I got to do is win by 3.
It's not in Tampa. It's in Germany.
Well, that's right. Neutral site game. Early game. Forgot about that.
Yeah, that's in Germany. I don't know if that factors in for you, but
Kind of. They got to take a long ass plane ride.
yeah.
Tom Brady's old.
he's an old man, and I hear that flying does something to your bones. I don't know. I've never flown before, but does it? Does it affect? Jet lag apparently is a real
I
thing.
don't know. I ain't 45.
Oh, that's true. You're not. As it's been said many times on the stream, and we really appreciate it. Geno Smith for MVP. Let's go Seattle.
Geno Smith doesn't really have the same ring as Josh Allen, but I like it.
Geno.
Dude, Tom Brady is going on the road.
He had one good series last week, and everyone, oh, he's back. Oh my gosh, there he is. He's got the divorce thing out of the way. There he is. He's back. Yeah, one good series. He stunk the rest of that game and had one good series.
And it clicked.
Go ahead, pick your boy.
Tampa Bay -2.5 in Deutschland. It's not Berlin. It's Berwin for Brady and the Bucks. Tom Brady, here's the other part. They understand that they are playing for the lead in the NFC South outright. That's important halfway through the season. Outright.
So if they lose, then they're back into a tie with Atlanta.
The standings as it is right now, Buccaneers are 4-5, Falcons are 4-6. If Tampa Bay was to drop this one to Seattle at this point, Tampa Bay has already defeated the Atlanta Falcons. They beat them 21-15 a couple weeks back. So they would have a half-game lead.
You know who they haven't beat, though?
They have not beat the Carolina Panthers.
They have not beat the Carolina Panthers.
Who they will play on New Year's Day. Long time between here and there. A lot of shit. And by the way, between here and there, the Bucks have the Niners, the Bengals, the Cardinals, the Browns, who will have Deshaun Watson available for that game, and the Saints, but that's not till December 5th. They should have Landry back and Lattimore back. There's a lot of games that Tampa could drop while Carolina's got the 27th easiest schedule remaining in the league. So here's our picks for Boo Box Bets. In college football, we are both riding West Virginia +8 against Oklahoma. We have both got Indiana to be inside of 40 against the Buckeyes. Cold, wet, rainy in that one. We have both got Tennessee, hail Rocky Top, going 21 or better over Mizzou. And we both got the Clemson Tigers -7 against Louisville. The only college game we disagree on, I have got Florida -8 at home against the Gamecocks. Zoe is riding with Beamer's boys +8. In the NFL, Jacksonville takes on Kansas City. Patty Mahomes and his boys are 9-point favorites. I am taking Trevor and Travis to shock the Chiefs and be inside of 9. Zoe riding with his boys. Indy versus Vegas. It is Saturday on a Sunday. Give me the Raiders. They're not that bad. I mean, they are that bad, but on paper, they're not that bad. They get Waller back. They should be fine. They're -5. They'll win by 6 with a first, not year, game. Head coach and Jeff Saturday. Zoe's got the Colts. We're both taking Dallas to beat the Packers by better than 5. They're -4.5. We're laying the points in that one. We have both got the 49ers laying 7 at home against the Chargers. And the only other game that we differ in, 3 total games will make the difference here. Seattle taking on Tampa Bay early in the morning from Deutschland, and the Bucks are -2.5. I've got Brady's boys. Zoe, riding with Geno Smith. There's your Boo Box Bets picks. We'll evaluate them on Monday. Back after this on the Rob Brown Show and the Fan Upstate.
You said something that sounded like something that I should have hit the button on.
Yeah,
and I was a half word.
I stopped the word shift halfway through.
Yeah.
And as soon as I said it, I'm like, if he jumps it, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I should have.
I think people knew where I was going with it.
Well, it's not about people.
Yeah.
So if this is my last day, you can blame Rob. And he'll say it's all about the feet.
Karma.
Yeah, you'll feel really bad if that comes to pass.
I'll tell you what, whoever won the last game has the right to have their name said first. So it is South Carolina against Florida. What to make of this game? Well, the Gators have won 6 of the last 10. The Gators have won 13 of the last 20. But there's not a lot of chitter chatter, not a lot of bulletin board material from either side heading into this one. Why? Because both sides know every bit how important this one is, and both sides are just a wee bit nervous. Florida fans are like, how are the Gators favored by more than a touchdown against a decent South Carolina team? The Gamecock fans are like, is it safe for us to believe in this outcome? I like the Gators very, 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 very close, and I think it will be obvious to all that South Carolina has come a long way under Shane Beamer. I'm Mark Ryan.
So even though you think they're going to lose, you think they've come. Okay.
Okay.
Well, it does mean more for Florida. You know why? Because they're not bowl eligible yet. And I don't know what the rest, at least I think they've only won 5 games. Unless I looked at it wrong.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the rest of their schedule's like, other than what, Florida State at the end. Yeah, so bring it hard, James. You got to. Don't stub your toe in the last half hour.
You're being a real heel right now, Alonzo. That's also a foot one.
I didn't need explanation. Thank you. Just put your foot in your mouth on that one, didn't you?
You guys have gone to the well too much with foot in the mouth and
no. You said
best foot forward.
You guys, but that's the first time I've used it.
Doesn't matter. It's
Well,
been done.
No,
It's old hat. It's stale.
When I say it, it means something totally different.
Get better jokes.
I'm not a pun guy, so I've had to reach deep into the well. I had to dip my toe in the waters that I've never dipped it into before.
From over 50 different cocktails, from classics to the most exotic premium cocktails served in the best bars today.
I don't know. I think you should be barefoot for the podcast too.
No. At 11:54, when my mic goes off, my shoes are going.
Wait, but it's supposed to go till noon.
No, it's supposed to go to the end of the show.
Which is noon.
No, it's not.
If we look at the clock, it says that the show's over at noon.
The end of the show.
Commercials are part of the show.
No, they're not. Yes, but they come after the end of the show.
No, they don't. The show doesn't end at 54. It ends at noon.
No, it ends at 54.
No, it ends at noon. I mean, I don't care. You're wrong. I mean, at 54, put shoes on. I don't care, but you're wrong. The show technically doesn't end until noon. And yes, this is a semantics argument. And yes, I am winning it.
No.
What's it say on the program clock? When does it say the show is over?
11:54 when they
No, it says
when the
noon.
top of the hour.
It's-
It is not my fault that instead of doing commercials 12 to 12:06, they have elected to do them 11:54 to 12. If the commercials started at 12, my show will be over at 12. But the end of show stop set
Should
starts at
I-
11:54, goes to 12.
Should I bring up the log and show
Fine,
you
well,
where
okay,
it
fine.
says?
No, let's go with that. The show ends at 12. When does Jim Rome's show start?
About
12.
12.
So we don't have a commercial break. The commercial break doesn't exist there.
No, there's no
commercial break.
There's no
there?
commercial break.
There's no commercial break
No.
between me and Jim Rome.
No.
No commercials play between me and Jim Rome.
As far
When
as
I
show
stop
goes,
talking and Jim Rome starts
as
talking,
far as show
no commercials
goes,
play.
there are no commercial breaks between one
Then
show and the other.
by that logic, if the stop set was from 12 to 12:06, by that logic, my show would end at 12:06, not noon. Did the old show end at when I was 12 to 3? Did my old show end at 3:06? No, it ended at 3.
I'm
That's
posting.
when the stop
I'm
set
posting it. I'm posting it. You just got really angry at me for no reason at all. Your feet are going up online for all to see. Still mad. Look at him.
Final half hour of the Rob Brown Show. Final 24 minutes of the Rob Brown Show starts right now.
It's not. We don't need to move on with this because you're getting really angry about this. There's no sense getting angry on it because I'm right, and maybe that makes you mad. That's fine.
Man, I know I'm right.
I,
And nothing to be mad about.
I
I'm
think
in good shape
t-
over
tune
here.
into the stream right now, and you can see how angry Rob is right now.
I'm killing it over here.
Yeah, he is. You are.
Having a great day.
You just ran right out of your shoes on this.
Having a great day. And just I just love today's show. I just love today's show. It's amazing. It's the best.
I will say you've held up really well on one end of the entire thing that I was not thinking you were going to be able to. But I will.
What? Not getting up out of my chair?
I will point out to.
Being confined like a prisoner?
I will point out to the stream and to the listeners, because I'm sure the listeners on the radio can also hear this, that this is the most still Rob has been in his entire life. He's not fidgeting. He's not adjusting the mic. He is being even while he's laughing right now, he's very still. And it's amazing. I didn't think you had it in you as far as that goes. You do have something in you though that you might want to get rid of.
Listen,
we got a break and you can just go here in a minute.
When we get done with this, those shoes are going on.
He's going to pee for an hour.
Yep. Ben McAdoo before the game last night said that it was Steve Wilkes' decision to start PJ Walker. He got asked, like, who made that call? And he was like, quote, yeah, that's coach's decision. We had some conversation behind the scenes. I don't want to really get involved in that a whole heck of a lot.
Trust the process.
That was Ben McAdoo. That wasn't trusting the process. That was Ben McAdoo going,
You know how many people just got fired around here?
Yeah, I don't want none of that.
I'm enjoying my job, at least for the rest of the year.
Look, PJ Walker last night went 10 of 16 for a $108, no touches,
Yeah,
no
but
picks.
as Rashad pointed out earlier, PJ really, and he didn't get into it enough, really tried to throw at least 2 interceptions. He tried really, really hard. If that ball is dry, he threw 2 picks at least last night.
Maybe.
The fact that the ball is wet, that saved him both times, especially that last one. I believe it was in the fourth quarter that he threw right to the guy. And if he hadn't thrown it really hard and it wasn't raining, it would have been a big time interception. So all I kept thinking is, oh, no. Who the heck are you throwing it to? There was no one around there.
Can we all acknowledge PJ was the right call to start the Cincinnati game and the wrong call to start last night? Even if he did go 10 of 16 for a $108, the wrong call. But I'm going to go back and say again what I said on the Views from Main Street podcast, available where major podcasts is found. If you are a Panthers fan, it is a must listen. Okay. What did I say on the pod? I said, if this team is going to tank, PJ's going to throw it 30 times and they're going to rush it 20. Right. And if they do that, they'll lose. You want to hear something hilarious? Atlanta. Marcus Mariota, Alonzo, threw the ball 30 times. The Falcons rushed the ball 25 times. And what happened to them? Exactly what I said would have happened to Carolina if they threw the ball 30 times and rushed it 25.
So here's what I see in this. And
we ran the ball, just for the stats, by the way, ran the ball 47 times last night.
And we are definitely going to expound and expand and all that on the Views from Main Street today. but I think PJ Walker started because he wouldn't throw the ball, because he would do as instructed. He wouldn't audible out and throw the ball. I think that's why. Because if you put Baker in there, he's probably going to throw first, especially if he has an option between running the ball and throwing the ball. He's going to throw first. I think they put PJ in there because he would listen to the coach and just hand the ball off.
I mean,
who's more likely to audible, Baker or
Baker.
PJ?
Sure.
Right. And so if you know that's going to be the case and you don't want him to throw the ball and you think the game plan is what you said, that if you run the ball, you're going to win this game, and you don't want to take any risk, you put PJ in there because he's not going to audible out the way that Baker would.
We now know, though, and here's my question. Do we I'm going to say we. It is now fair, Zoe. It is now fair to believe that this team, at least the team, is not tanking. It is now fair to believe that the coaches are not tanking, right? Because if they wanted to tank last night, the easy thing to do would have been to match Marcus Mariota throw for throw, start to finish. But they didn't go throw the ball 30 times. They threw the ball 16 times, which is exactly the number I said was like the top end. Like 16, 17 was it. That's what they did.
And
they ran a game plan to win the game.
I asked the question, what if the Panthers win? And so we're back into that thing. Okay, so they're not really tanking. They're actually trying to win. Then they could go out the next week and do the same thing they did against Cincinnati. We're probably going to have this problem all year long, trying to figure out what exactly they're trying to do. And the question is, do they know what exactly they're trying to do?
Texter said, maybe I missed it because I just just tuned in, but did you guys get to take a look at Baker Mayfield after the game headbutting the players? Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, it's perfectly normal. It happens all the time.
I love it. I love that guy. I'm going to tell you right now, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm gullible. Maybe I don't know. But Baker has sold me on he wants to be there. Like, he wants to be that guy. That's why I told Rashad, if you are going to have, even if you're going to stick to the game, as you should, of throwing the ball, 16, 17 times per game tops. If that is the game plan, and it should be, I still want to see Baker out there, right? And here's why. It's not that I think Baker is like, oh, you know what? It's because we have seen a resurgence from a number of players offensively since the departure of Matt Rule. PJ Walker had a couple of real good games out of the gate. He's fallen off now. DJ Moore had a couple of good games. TMJ. How about that? How about, Lonzo, that catch and run from TMJ early in the second half last night with like 48 yards that just absolutely set the pace of play for the Panthers the rest of the way. TMJ is, we have seen all these guys that have broken out since the departure of Matt Rule. I kind of want to see if Baker can have the same thing happen, right? Because if Baker comes in and Baker suddenly breaks out, Baker steps out and Baker does big things, who knows, right? Who knows what's next? Maybe Baker has the same resurgence, and all of a sudden, instead of going 10 for 16 for 100 yards, maybe you're looking at 16 for 20 for 210 and 130 yards on the ground out of Deontay Foreman, right? How much different is the offense last night if PJ Walker was a threat to throw? Granted, it was ugly weather, right? But how much different, how much easier is Deontay Foreman's life, Lonzo, if the Falcons secondary is afraid of PJ Walker and can't crash the line every time Deontay looks like he's going to run? It's much more efficient, right? It's a whole different world. They're not throwing extra men into the box if they're afraid of PJ Walker. So let's send Baker back out. Let's give Baker one more crack at the starting lineup, right? Texas says Baker will start once he won't get 70% of the snaps. It will save a round in the draft and some money. Yeah, I've been saying that all week, except here's the thing. You're a game and a half back of the division, right? Now, I've said a number of times, and I'm not walking off of this. Honestly, I probably would rather have the top 2 draft pick than I would an NFC South crown and a spot in the playoffs, because let's call a spade, we'll get pulverized by whoever we go up against in the first round, right? We just will. But if there's some excitement around this team, if there's some energy in the team itself and the team itself, the team that played last night in the wind and the rain, it's not a bad football team that is now a game and a half out of the division. I agree with you, but there's another thing here, Texter. You can play Baker, see if Baker has a bit of a resurgence, and if he does, now you're building your foundation and you're giving Baker the XP to keep him around next year because you don't need to worry about drafting a quarterback anymore, right? Now having the second or third or fourth pick doesn't matter because you got the guy. Now you can utilize those picks to go elsewhere in the draft.
Yeah, but if you are a Steve Wilks fan and you think you want him to be the coach going forward, then I think the playoff is more important than the draft pick.
Sure. Because
he took a team that was down the way it was underneath Matt Rule and was able to bring them back enough to win the NFC South crown. I mean, that's got to look good on your resume.
And for the reason for the reasons of this segment here, I have been operating, as I've said on both this show and the Views from Mint Street podcast, I have been operating under the assumption that there's been a wink, wink, nudge, nudge at Steve Wilks, right? I've been operating under the assumption that there is a hint, hint, nudge, nudge that Wilks has maybe not the job, but has the leg up on the job when the season ends and teams are looking for head coaches, right? Steve Wilks doesn't want to have to go out there and try again, try to find another head coaching job, right? He got screwed at Arizona. He's gotten a chance at Carolina. The boys seem to line up. We talked to Rashad earlier. Rashad said, look, it looks to me like the guys are playing for him, right? The guys like Steve Wilks. They're playing for Steve Wilks. I'll tell you, that Carolina team shows up, wins another game, right? You're not going to beat Baltimore. Baltimore's good. Baltimore's real good. But you come back and you win 2-3 games consecutively after that, and you take what looked like a 3 or 4 win season, and you turn it into a 7-9 win season, right? Or what's a 7-10 win season? There's something to be said about the potential for him. You get to that 8-9 mark, 9-8 mark with the 27th easiest remaining schedule in the NFL. You turn it into that mark. Ladies and gentlemen, my goodness gracious, Steve Wilks might not just be the head coach, but like a good one. A lot to go. A lot of football left to play. Carolina gets the long week off to prepare for a Baltimore team that just wiped the floor with New Orleans on Monday night. What can they do with it? We will be talking about that. Remember, the Views from Mint Street Pod is going to drop another episode today when Lonzo and I get off the air. I'm putting my shoes on, and then we're recording the Views from Mint Street podcast, which will drop later on this afternoon. We will have the full breakdown, ladies and gentlemen, of last night's win over the Falcons, as well as a bit of a preview into next week's game against Baltimore and any injuries, transactions, etc., that we get updated on between here and there. Let's take our final break of the day. When we come back, a couple of final thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, about the football weekend upcoming. Clemson at Louisville, South Carolina at Florida. What are we liking out of those games? How are we feeling about those games? I want your thoughts. Text us 71307, 71307. You can also give us a buzz at 844-FAN-PHONE, 844-FANFONE, 844-326-3663 is the number. Want to hear what you got to say? We'll talk more football and then hit Twitter trending topics to wrap up the week on the Rob Brown Show and the Fan Upstate. Shoeless Joe Jackson? Nope, just Rob Brown. LOL. Da-na-na.
It's one of those cases he's pronouncing all those hockey names, and I'm like, yeah, I think he's doing it right. Sounds legit to me.
Sounds legit.
Since I'm supposed to figure out if he's pronouncing things right or not.
Oh, you are?
Yes. Remember, the other show was a stickler for things pronounced, and correct. Then if I put something in and they mispronounce it, then I get words from management. Some people may call themselves an arbiter. I actually have to be one.
Deontay Foreman ran for 130 yards and a score. Laviska Shenault added a 41-yard rushing touchdown as Carolina ran for 232 on the ground as a team. Panthers moved to 3-7. Falcons fall to 4-6. The Raiders placed tight end Darren Waller on injured reserve. Waller's missed 3 games with a hamstring strain and hasn't played since suffering the injury in Week 5. Las Vegas also placing wide receiver Hunter Renfrow on IR with an oblique injury. Both players out for a minimum of 4 weeks. Meanwhile, Browns quarterback Denzel Ward plans to play this week against the Dolphins. He's missed the last 3 games with a concussion. In other news, the Chargers waive former 2019 first-round pick defensive tackle Jerry Tillery. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Did you hear about Taco Bell's apology? Yeah, they apologized for going too far with their breakfast. Like the naked egg taco and chicken biscuit nachos, it was too much. All you need in the morning is tasty, simple food. Like the breakfast crunch wrap. Fluffy eggs, melty cheese, sausage, crispy hash browns, wrapped in a warm tortilla. Or, as some call it, a breakfast crunch thing. Grab one today, only at Taco Bell. Participating U.S. Taco Bell favors during breakfast hours 10 until 11 a.m. Also find last contact with the store for hours and participation retrieval.
For all your printing needs this holiday,
Kevin Conroy passed away.
I need custom printed holiday cards for my one-of-a-kind business.
Staples has you covered.
It's beginning to look a lot like I need custom party invites. Fast.
I need cards for everyone who gave me a hand this year without spending an arm and a leg.
Staples has you covered with personalized holiday cards and invites. And now save 40% on custom holiday cards and invitations. For everything you need printed, go to Staples, your working and learning store. In-store and online, ends 12/17. Exclusions and restrictions apply.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. Planning a road trip this fall? Maximize your fuel economy by inflating tires to proper pressure.
Maximize your fuel economy.
It becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
Kansas City Steak Company, another AmericanEagle.com success story. Started in 1932 as a family-owned butcher shop, today they're a leading distributor of superior all-American steaks delivered right to your door, ready for the grill and your taste buds. When it came to their website, an average
If it were up to me, Stephen, we would have had a foot cam the entire 3 hours.
Why?
Because that really sells the punishment. We could have made a game out of how many times you crinkle your toes. Would have been fun. Could have gave away T-shirts to anyone who could count the hairs on your toes. Which means it would have been easy to count.
Welcome to AutoZone. See better and stay safe on the road with our visibility event. Right now, you can earn up to $20 in bonus rewards when you buy a pair of Rain-X Quantum Wiper Blades and Sylvania Silverstar Ultra Headlights. Take advantage of the rewards from October 31st until November.
Yes, indeed, James. You got it.
Restrictions apply. Offer available to AutoZone Rewards members.
This afternoon, more rain from Tropical Storm Nicole, high of 68.
Weather brought to you by One Pay. Improve your gas mileage by properly inflating tires and taking your car in for a tune-up. Join Odyssey, and together, each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow.
All right, we went a little bit earlier because I visibly was shaken earlier if you were watching because of a death. And it was, anytime a celebrity dies or anyone dies for that matter, it's sad. But Kevin Conroy's just passed away. And it's just like you were talking about football, and I just for a second, I was completely phased out seeing that. I mean, it was just such a shocker. So the voice of Batman, the real voice of Batman. I mean, you can pick your Batman, your live action Batman, but the voice of Batman has passed away.
Yeah, it's Batman the Animated Series. I have maintained for many years that Batman the Animated Series was, if it wasn't the best animated comic book project of all time, I don't know what is, right? Like there's been a lot of really good ones, but I genuinely believe that the Batman the Animated Series was the best animated project, not just Batman, but I mean superhero project of all time. And he was I mean, that what to me when I know we all kind of made fun of Christian Bale. Where is he? But that voice of Batman the Animated Series, when I hear, and he did a bunch of video game projects as Batman too. When I think Batman, like Conroy's voice is the Batman I hear.
Also, if you get a chance, and there'll be a lot of people looking up his stuff, he has gone back in several different like things and read the Batman lines from Batman movies with his voice on it. And it's awesome. It really is. Really, really sad day. So the next thing that's trending is Gallagher.
You ever seen Gallagher live? Gallagher, not Gallagher.
You can't anymore.
Did he die?
Yes.
Can I tell you this and get myself in trouble? Gallagher was a jerk. Gallagher was a jerk of a human being. I met him. He did a small club in my old hometown.
I'm not supposed to speak ill of the dead.
Nah,
but...
when you're a jerk, you're a jerk.
Okay.
All right. When you're a jerk, you're a jerk. He did a show, and there was a woman on stage who, in fairness, like would not stop talking while he was trying to do his act, right? And after the third time he asked her to stop talking, dude, he grabbed her by the wrist, brought her to the front of the stage, Lonzo, and just kind of pulled her off the edge of about a 4-foot tall raised elevated stage, right? Like just kind of pulled her off. About 80% of the club just walked out of his act. It was bad. 80% of the bar just walked out of his act. I was there and met him after, an absolute jerk. But when you think about smashing watermelons with a hammer, I mean, I guess that's a legacy.
I mean, yeah, because before then, props have always been big with certain comedy acts, but to the point where during his heyday, people would come wearing plastic and stuff and would want to be in the front row to take debris.
We were all excited about it. I'd be lying to tell you we weren't all excited about it. And then it just turned out he sucked as a person. Just too bad. Too bad.
All right. The next thing that's trending is Black Panther.
So you saw it last night?
I did.
I don't want to know anything about it, but good, okay, great, upper echelon of Marvel movies, mid.
Here's what I will say. If you want a complete review, listen to the Upstate Pulse tomorrow night, 7 to 9 p.m. on 106.3 WORD.
I just want to know where, like, is it top tier, mid? Am I going to be disappointed?
If I was real excited about it, I wouldn't be able to contain myself right now.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm still going to say it. Here's the thing. I'm going to be real with you. I love Lonzo once again. I don't jump on Lonzo's movie reviews.
That's fine. From a technical standpoint, I'm not even talking about technical standpoint. I'm talking about, all right, if you feel a certain way when you come out of a movie, I already knew it was going to be sad. I mean, that's,
Sure.
But if you feel a certain way coming out of a movie, even though you're sad, you come out and go, all those fight scenes were great, all this. I came out with meh. Not the best Marvel movie this season.
This season?
This year, rather.
Well, that's what I assumed.
Yeah.
That's a bummer. That's a bummer.
You still should go see it. I mean,
I'm absolutely
because
going to.
it's a great tribute.
Again, I don't trust your movie reviews.
Well, that's fine. It's a great. The movies I like make money though. I just want to point that out. And so, but it is a great movie.
Fight Club made movie or made money.
But
Fight Club
he just
made
can't wait
movie.
to get his shoes
really
back
can.
on. It's a great movie tribute to Chadwick Boseman. Though it really is.
I'm in it for that as much as anything else. That's it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Jim Rome up next in the jungle. Mark and Diesel take you offsides at 3. Burns football tomorrow, 2 p.m. Kickoff is at 2. Pregame at 1:30. That'll be carried on 13:30 a.m. or on the Odyssey app. So if you've been listening to Burns Rebel football all year, unfortunately, I can't be there. Cole Bryson filling in for me tomorrow. And once we put away Blythewood, I'll be back with you next Friday when we take on Gaffney. Y'all have a great weekend. Don't drink and drive. I'll punch you in the face. We'll see you back here Monday on the Rob Brown Show. And the Fan Upstate later, brother.
You go turn the stream off before you put your shoes on? Well, then technically you're still on the show.
No, the show's
So
over.
you're failing right now because you're not.
The show's over.
No,
The Rob Brown show is over.
no, it's not.
Here, I'll even put up the I forgot to put the live logo back up. I'll even put up the logo that's not live. See, we're not live anymore.
How'd you put something up that wasn't there already? Don't you throw your shoe at me?
Well, I wouldn't dare because I need it on my foot.
You know how disrespectful that is? I got George W. Bush like reflexes. You ain't hitting me with that shoe.
George W. Bush like reflexes.
Don't you remember when they threw a
I
shoe?
do.
They threw two at him.
I do.
And what did he do? He did this. He did one of these. He did Matrix like.
Hit the shimmy shake on him.
Yeah,
I'm
n-
feeling it now.
Didn't nobody want to see that though.
Yeah, but wanting to see my feet's not weird. Hey, have a great weekend, everybody. We will see you back here Monday. You guys are the best most days.